KFNF mobile app and streaming live on the 101.1 KFNF YouTube channel. Red Devil football is on the air.
Goal to tip the eye, takes the snap, hands it off. He's got some running room across the 20 to the 25, 30, 35, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. The first play from scrimmage. Josiah Patton takes it to the house. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking to throw, has a man wide open. It's Caden Sowers right at the 40-yard line, makes a catch, cuts back at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in for a touchdown, Red Devils.
This is Red Devil football.
Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw, still looking. He launches a ball into the end zone. It's caught by Tyler Rossmeyer for a touchdown, Red Devils, from 19 yards out. Everybody flexed out to the right. He takes the snap, hands it off. Patton weaving between everybody. He's got some running room. He's at the 30, to the 35, still his feet to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. See you later.
Coverage of Red Devil football on 101.1 KFNF is brought to you by
Aqua Shield Roofing, Colby Ag Center, Creative Collision, Colligan of Oberlin, Decatur Co-op, Decatur County Beef, Decatur Health, Farm Credit of Western Kansas, FNB Bank of Oberlin, Frederickson Insurance Agency, Kitchen Solvers of McCook, Nutrient Ag Solutions of Oberlin, Ray's Grocery, The Bank in downtown Oberlin, Ward Drug Store, and Next Tech.
Now with the start of Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op. Here's Sam Knoll.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back into Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op on today's Best Country 101.1 KFNF, as we get you set and ready to go for tonight's matchup between the Oberlin Red Devils and the Hoxie Indians. And man, oh man, is it going to be a good one as we make our way into Week 2 of district action, I should say. My goodness, the season going by faster than everybody wants it to. That is for sure, as with last week's win over St. Francis, Oberlin is officially halfway through their 8-game regular season schedule, and obviously they would love to have a few more games added onto that at the end of the season. But for the ones they guarantee you can play, they're halfway through those. Oberlin comes in tonight with a record of 3-1 and 1-0 in district play, while their opponent, the Hoxie Indians, come with a record of 2-2 and 1-0 as well in district play. Indians a little red hot, coming in off of back-to-back wins. Oberlin picking up a much-needed win after that tough loss a couple of weeks ago to Wallace County. Coming up in a Red Devil Game Day presented by Decatur Co-op, we'll take a look back at last week's win for the Red Devils over St. Francis and kind of look at the season as a whole. Then we will have the 8-man blitz, Week 5 edition. Look back at all the district matchups that happened across the state last week, and we have a special kind of Red Devil opposition this week as we had a chance to sit down and talk with head coach Lance Barr, so he'll give us his thoughts on the season, and that's going to be a great Red Devil opposition segment. Get to hear personally from Hoxie head coach Lance Barr on how he thinks the season is going, and then, as always, we sit down and talk with head coach of the Red Devils, Blake Gehring, get his thoughts on the season so far and what he expects to see out of Hoxie tonight. All right, let's jump into things. The Red Devils come in once again with a record of 3-1, picking up a big win last week at home on homecoming and everything that goes along with that. It's a very emotionally draining week. I think if you ask any of the coaches and the teachers at Oberlin High and the junior high and the elementary school, very emotionally draining week. The kids are crazy, but they have a right to be. Homecoming only comes around once a year, and the Red Devils capped it off with a big win, 38-28 against the Saney Indians in a game that seemed like it was never going to end. Took about 3 hours, but Oberlin, who found themselves down after the first quarter 8-6, takes the win 38-28, putting up double-digit quarters in the second and the fourth quarter. Saney not really had anything going offensively until that fourth quarter, and had a shot to maybe go down and tie it or either take the lead, but just weren't able to do it, and the Red Devil defense hung tough again last week at Smick Memorial Field, that is for sure. The Red Red Devils offensively last week were led by a couple of different facets. The Red Devils, who most of this season have loved to kind of just go on long, methodical drives down the field that maybe end in a big play within 20, 30 yards or so. They got things started with a big play right off the bat, a 70-plus yard touchdown to Gage Willoughby, and he kind of led the way receiving-wise for the Red Devils. 2 receptions, 102 yards for Gage and 2 touchdowns. He's now got 10 receptions, 270 yards, and 6 tutties this season so far. So that switch from quarterback to wide receiver really paying off for Gage Willoughby. Caden Sowers had another big week last week, both in the receiving game and the rushing game. 2 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown receiving-wise, and Caden broke one loose late and kind of sealed the victory for the Red Devils as he had 8 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. But Josiah Pattengall continued to do what Josiah Pattengall does best, and that's run the football. 28 carries for him, 156 yards, and a touchdown. Now on the year, 92 carries, 622 yards, and 8 touchdowns. All of last year, he just had 1,285 yards. So he's basically at the halfway point to his total last year, only through 4 weeks of the season. He has been off to a great start, averaging 6.7 yards per carry and 155.5 yards per game. Brady Gehring put in a very quality game after a tough one the week before against Wallace County. Made a couple of big throws to Gage Willoughby over the top. One for like that 70-plus yard, also a 40-yarder. Go for a touchdown. Then he threw a 25-yard TD pass to Caden Sowers last week. So he was getting it all done through the air. Brady 4 of 9, 182, 3 touchdowns. He's now 22 of 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for Brady on the season. He's also got yards of offense again last week. That's the 3rd straight week the Red Devils have done it and put up their highest passing yardage of the season with 182 yards as they had 205 on the ground, 182 through the air for a total of 387. Defensively is where the Red Devils really hung their hat last week. Yes, St. Francis did get a couple of big plays down the stretch, but they are a big play offense through and through, and the Red Devils for 3.5 quarters really held them under that big play. But you got to go back, kind of look at those 2 big plays that St. Francis got, and each of them, not saying that they got them luckily, but their receivers made a couple of big plays to get those, made a couple of big catches, I should say, athletic plays, and they were able to score on a couple of them there. But the defense has really been key for the Red Devils this season, and I mention him every week, but Theo Butterfield again with a great week last week, 13 tackles, 11 of those solos, 2.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks for him as well, taking his total. He's got 41 tackles on the season, averages 10.3 per game, 7 TFLs, 5 sacks as well to go along with it. And another big name that has really stepped up in the last 3 games or so, Cohen Anderson. 21 tackles now on the season, 5 TFLs, a sack, 3 fumble recoveries, and a touchdown. I mean, between those 2 up front, the Red Devils really love to have that 2-headed monster. And then you add in Rustin Bailey and Gus Emick. It has been a big defensive line this year for the Red Devils that continues to just get in the backfield and mess other teams', offensive schemes up left and right. The linebacker core for the Red Devils with Caden Sowers and Josiah Pattengall, another solid week. 15 combined tackles with the both of them, 3 TFLs. Caden now got 33 tackles on the year, 6 TFLs. Josiah 26 tackles and 4 TFLs. So the linebacker core continues to impress, and they've been doing a good job in coverage as well. Josiah continues to get in there, get his hands in right at the last second, get some pass breakups, and he actually, kind of affected the passing game a little bit as Ethan Graham, a couple of others made a couple of key drops down the stretch, just knowing that Josiah was kind of in their presence. But the secondary was really who stepped up big for the Red Devils last week, as the Red Devils didn't get a pick. They had 2 called back due to pass interference penalties, but they stepped up huge, played a big game in the secondary against a tough offense in St. Francis, and were able to come away with some much-needed kind of confidence there in that secondary. Like I have kind of mentioned all year, all of those guys had played a little bit on the defensive side, but never as starters, never as much as they've been relied on, and they were relied on heavily last week, and they got the job done. Brady Gehring, 8 tackles out of the secondary last week. Gage Willoughby with 4, Christian Smith-Titus with 1, and a fumble recovery, but all of them played huge in the Red Devil defense, shutting down a very high-powered offense in St. Francis. And they'll try to do the same tonight, even though Hoxie, 2-2 start. Obviously, everybody knows what they did last year with a state championship, but they can score bunches and bunches of points. As so far this season, in 3 of the 4 games, they've scored 45 or more points, including a 60-point performance last week against Stockton, in which they won 60-14. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in Red Devil opposition. But if the Red Devil defense can wreak havoc like they have been all year, they should be able to shut down a very high-powered offense. Can't allow the big play. Hoxie's kind of relied on that more than they usually have in years past. So if they can stop the big play once again this week, that will be huge. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and coming up next here on Red Devil Game Day presented by Decatur Co-op, we take a look back at all the scores from last week and our 8-man blitz segment. That's coming up next here on our Red Devil Game Day pregame show presented by Decatur Co-op on 101.1 KFNF.
Here come the men in black trucks for all your home needs.
Say no to bad roofs. Say yes to AquaShield Roofing. With over 17 years of providing A-plus services. Roofs, siding, gutters, windows, doors, and spray foam insulation. Plus, AquaShield Roofing offers a workmanship warranty. For your free estimate, give them a call at 785-475-2533. AquaShieldRoofing.com.
Here come the men in black trucks for all your home needs.
Ever wonder why some people have a spring in their step? It's simple. Fuel. Quality fuel from Decatur Co-op. Without the right fuel, your day can feel like a drag. But with Decatur Co-op's premium Fieldmaster diesel or unleaded fuel delivered straight to you, those days of sluggish starts are over. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, they keep you moving. Check out their bulk fuel delivery today. Premium fuel and service you deserve at Decatur Co-op, with a location near you.
Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op, continues. Let's get the scores from across the state last week and preview the matchups coming up this week. This is the 8-Man Blitz on 101.1 KFNF, today's best country.
Red Devil Game Day, Decatur Co-op pregame show rolls on here on today's Best Country 101.1 KFNF, and it's time now for the 8-Man Blitz, where we look back at all the scores from last week as well as all the upcoming matchups this week. As all across the state last week at 8-Man Division 1, it was district play. Pretty much every single team was in district action. They're the one district this year that just has 5 teams in it. There was one team off last week. But other than that, everybody was playing somebody in their district, and there was a lot of good matchups throughout the state. So let's jump into it. We start in District 1 action. Cedar Val-Dexter takes down Sedan in overtime, 28-22. Northeast Arma wins at home, taking down Central Burton, 26-20. And Oswego goes on the road and gets a 49-0 blanking over West Elk. Good start for Oswego, that is for sure. In District 1 action coming up this week, West Elk travels on the road to take on Cedar Val-Dexter. Val-Dexter 3-1, West Elk 1-3. Central Burton at 1-3 on the road to take on Oswego, who is 3-1. Northeast Arma at 2-2. Big couple of wins in back-to-back weeks for them. They're on the road to take on Sedan, who is 1-3. In District 2 action last week, Flint Hills got a big win over Northern Heights, 58-14. Linden all over Chase County. The state champs from 2023 are still undefeated as the Tigers won 68-18 there. Madison all over Yates Center, 46-0. District 2 action this week, Linden and Flint Hills meet up in a big game that everybody's going to be watching. Linden at 3-0 on the road, Flint Hills 3-1 at home. Northern Heights at 1-3 travels on the road to take on Madison, who's 4-0, and Chase County at 1-3 is on the road to meet up with like opponent Yates Center, who is also 1-3. In District 3 action last week, El Saline, the Cardinals, after losing Week 1, have now won 3 straight as they blank Canton Galva 46-0. Central Plains all over the Gorillas of Solomon 54-6, and Little River all over Gossell 52-6. In District 3 action this week, El Saline, the Cardinals travel on the road to take on Solomon, who is 1-3. The Gorillas have never beat the Cardinals kind of in this season series going back, I think, 4 or 5 years. So the Gorillas will try to pull off the upset there at 1-3. Canton Galva at 2-2 on the road to meet up with Little River, who is 4-0. And Gossell travels on the road to take on Central Plains, who's 3-1. What a stacked district that is. Central Plains, Little River, and El Saline. Central Plains, El Saline chasing Little River, who is still undefeated. In District 4 action last week, Clifton Clyde all over Lakeside at half, 46-0. Lincoln takes down Washington County 56-6, and Sylvan Lucas all over Rock Hills 58-6. So this week in District 4, Lakeside at 2-2 travels on the road to take on Sylvan Lucas, who's still undefeated at 4-0. Clifton Clyde now at 3-1 travels on the road to take on Washington County, who's 1-3, and already have a final from this district as Lincoln wins over Rock Hills via forfeit. That makes Rock Hills ineligible for the postseason, but dealing with some sickness and some injuries, weren't able to field a team this week, so they forfeit against the Leopards of Lincoln. So Lincoln will now be 5-0, Rock Hills at 0-5, ineligible for the postseason. In District 5 action last week, South Central now undefeated still on the year as they take down Kiowa County 58-6. Oxford was on bye last week, and Pratt Skyline remains undefeated with a 46-0 win over Udall. Big week this week in District 5 as Pratt Skyline travels on the road with their 4-0 record to take on Oxford, who is 3-0. Kiowa County at 1-3 with 3 pretty good losses, 2 of which were by the in close proximity. That one last week to South Central was a tough one, but they're 1-3 on the road to take on Udall, and South Central plays out-of-district opponent Maxville, yes, that's correct. South Central 3-0, Maxville 0-4. In District 6 action last week, Kinsley, the Coyotes, take down Elkhart 70-20, and how about this? Sublet, who had put up 50 or more points or so, 70 in a couple of games to open up the year, they lose in overtime to Meade 48-40. Yes, Meade getting a big win over the undefeated Larks last week, and Spearville picks up their first win with a big win over South Gray 66-40 in a shootout. District 6 action this week, the Coyotes of Kinsley at 3-0 travel on the road to take on Spearville, who is 1-2. Each of those teams started out with a Week 1 bye this year, so they match up there at 3-0 with a 1-2. South Gray at 1-3 on the road to take on Meade, who is 2-2, and Elkhart at 0-4 travels to take on the Larks of Sublet, looking to rebound after a tough loss. In District 7 action last week, Ellis takes down a very tough lacrosse team as the Railers pick up their first win with a 44-32 victory. Trigo takes down Wichita County 56-46. The Golden Eagles were down at halftime, but rally back for the big 10-point victory over the Indians. Trigo 4-0 for the first time since 2016, and that moves them into the rankings on kpreps.com. And I think that's the first time they've been ranked since at least 2021 or something like that. It's been a great start for the Golden Eagles, that's for sure, with a big win over Wichita County, who still is going to make a lot of noise in 8-man D1, that's for sure. 56-46, once again, Golden Eagles with a win. Quinter takes down Ness City 34-18. Bulldogs started 0-2. They're now 2-2 with the win. Lacrosse and Quinter meet up this week in District 7 action. Both of those teams 2-2. Ness City at 1-3 travels on the road to take on Wichita County, who's 2-2, and Ellis at 1-3 is on the road to take on Trigo. And finally, making our way into our final district, District 8 action from last week. Rawlins County and Hill City in one of the many games of the week last week that we had around the state, and it was the Ringnecks of Hill City really taking out Rawlins County big, 58-20. The Ringnecks get the win there. Hoxie taking down Stockton, 60-14, and Oberlin all over St. Francis, 38-28, as you know. So, District 8 games going on this week. As you know, Oberlin taking on Hoxie. But Hill City travels on the road to take on St. Francis. Both of those teams are 3-1, and Rawlins County is on the road to take on the Tigers of Stockton. So, that's a look at our 8-man blitz. All of the matchups from last week and all of the district matchups coming up this week. Coming up next here on Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op, it's time for Red Devil Opposition. Like I mentioned, it's a little special edition of Red Devil Opposition as we had a chance and sit down and talk with head coach of the Indians, Lance Barr. That's coming up next here on Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors that get the job done right, or the Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit your Colby Ag Center for a demo today. Colby Ag Center, your local Cub Cadet dealer at 305 East Horton.
Winter will be coming sooner than you think. It's time to start thinking about warmth and savings. Mid-Plains Energy offers propane delivery to keep your home cozy and your wallet happy. Sign up now to lock in the best rates. The earlier you join, the more you save. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, Mid-Plains Energy ensures reliable service and peace of mind. Mid-Plains Energy, your trusted partner for a warm winter. Call 785-678-2315 to learn more.
Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op, continues on 101.1 KFNF, today's best country. Let's take a closer look at tonight's opponent with Red Devil Opposition.
Time for Red Devil Opposition here on Red Devil Game Day, presented by Decatur Co-op, and we got a special edition of Red Devil Opposition this week as we had a chance to sit down and talk with head coach of the Indians, Lance Barr. We'll get to that interview in just a second, but the Indians come in with a record of 2-2 and 1 in district play. The Indians started 0-2 on the road. Very tough Osborne team at 8-man D2. They lost 52-46. And went on the road to take on Trigo, lost 54-6 there, but have rallied back for 2 wins against Ellis, 46-32, and last week taking down Stockton, 60-14. It was 40.5, 14-3, final of 60-14. The Indians have put up got points this season. They averaged 39.5 so far through 4 weeks, but have given up gobs and gobs of points too, as they have given up points per game so far through the first 4 weeks of the season. They average 350 total yards of offense, 114 through the air, 236 on the ground, and being led by the Meyer and Matt Brett. Back 38-22. Matt Brett carries 182 yards of defensive side of football. A lot of young guys over there at the offensive side, but really being led by the linebackers of Kressler, who got his first start last week, picked up 2 TFLs and 6 tackles on the year, including a sack, an interception, and a forced fumble, and 7 TFLs, and Noah Nicholson, 43 tackles for him on the year, a TFL, and a fumble recovery. So it's athletic in Hoxie, and everybody knows what they did last year, winning the state championship, but most of those years left. So it's kind of a new look, only one return. And Lance Barr certainly had his hands full for weeks, kind of getting these guys up to where he wants them, but we kind of hear it from Blake Gehring in our interview with him. It's a championship pedigree in Hoxie, so no matter if they could be 0-4 right now, they're going to put on a great performance. They got athletic guys, and Oberlin really cannot take these Indians lightly because they are going to come out ready to play, especially in front of their home crowd. All right, let's get to that interview with head coach of the Indians, Lance Barr, here on Red Devil Opposition. Boy, Coach, just kind of looking at the schedule, it's crazy. We're officially through. I know you've been going for a little bit longer than a month, but a true month of games, 4 games in the book. It's now week 2. Play is here, and I know you've been doing this for a long time, and it's just crazy how fast every season goes, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to think that, we're already basically halfway through our regular season. So, it's kind of a chaotic start, and you're trying to get everything in, trying to get everybody where they need to be, and then pretty soon you're in the middle of the season. So that's just kind of the way it goes, it seems like. But, that's where we're at. So.
A lot of running around, and then when it comes, man, it goes quick. That is for sure. And anyway, coming in tonight with a record of 2-2, back-to-back wins after an 0-2 start there, but back on the right track with a couple of wins, and now that last week taking down Stockton 60-14. I guess what were your overall thoughts last time you guys played there against Stockton?
Yeah, I think we were wanting to see some things in that game that we didn't do well the previous 3. We've kind of noticed some things and some things that we needed to see improvements on, just small things that can make a big difference, in our technique and things like that. So we really wanted to see that, which we saw some of that, improvements, but we're still looking for more. We have a lot of new guys out there playing varsity, so we've got to take a lot of time and work with those guys, and we want to see gradual improvements. But it's like I've been telling them these last couple of weeks, we're to the point now where we need to be taking a pretty big stride come Friday, and I've been telling them every week's a test for us. So when we get to that Friday and we get to that test, we want to see that improvement. And then we'll take what we see and we'll go work on the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to do. Just kind of grow these young men and through these weeks, and hopefully every week we do improve, and by the end we're where we want to be.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned that. Obviously, kind of everybody knows the story of last year, and you knew you were going to have some new guys out there with. Maybe, got some, minutes last year towards the end of games and stuff like that. And you kind of mentioned it, a lot of guys that haven't seen a ton of experience. And one of those guys is your quarterback, Chase Meyer. I know we did see a little bit last year, but this is his first true year of starting for you. And he's off to a good start back there. I guess, what have you seen out of him so far through the first few weeks?
Yeah, I think he's getting more comfortable every week. He's a really good running quarterback. We're working on things through the pass game a little bit more. So far, it's been mostly play action type passes. He did really good for us in the Ellis game where he was 100%. He was 5 for 5 passing over 100 yards. I don't remember the exact stats, but we had some big plays in the play action there. And that's where he really needs to be good. When we're running the ball. We tend to get stacked boxes. We get a lot of pressures and different things, and we can find some stuff in the play action, but it can be a little bit off schedule type things. We're getting a little pressure. They're sending blitzes and things like that to try to stop the run. So if we can catch them in that, and if we can hang in there, if Chase can hang in there and find the right guy, there's usually somebody that's wide open. So. But we're also working with him, just in the straight pass game, the quick game, and, through some of our intermediate concepts and things as well. So we're working on that, and, he's getting a little more comfortable with it, as well as, our receivers, our backs, understanding formation alignments and their passing concepts and things, depending on where they're lined up, what routes they have and things like that. Those guys are actually, getting to the point where they're starting to understand that stuff a little bit better as well. So it's a whole team thing. So it's not usually on one guy, but we all got to be on the same page.
Yeah, you mentioned the receivers and backs there, and you got a couple of new guys back there in the backfield for you this season with Noah Nicholson and Matt Retz, and that's kind of a 1-2 punch with them. You get one from one, you get the other from the other there, and they've both kind of complemented each other well this season, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. Matt got quite a bit of time in the backfield last year when we had Easton Nicholson had a little bit of an injury last year, and he got quite a bit of time on the offensive side. We were saving Easton more for defense at that point, but so he got a lot of experience there. So he's been kind of the leader back there for sure. And all three of those guys with Chase, Matt, and Noah, we want to try and keep them kind of even as far as carries and things go like that, because they all can do it, and we don't want to have a defense keen on any one of them. We want at any given time any one of those guys to be able to make the play, and they're all capable of doing that.
And boy, your offense this season has been one of the better scoring teams in the state. Obviously, I know you'd like to have a couple more wins to go along with that too, but you guys, in 3 out of 4 games have been able to put 4 points. So have to be happy with the offense that's trending with a lot of new guys on that side of the ball, right?
Yeah, we're able to score some points, and that Waukeena game was very rough. So, going back looking at that game though, to start the game, we had a good drive, nice sustained long. It was probably a 10-12 play drive where we got down in the red zone and then ended up turning the ball over. And that's one area where we really need to improve is finishing drives, especially against good teams where the yards are hard to get, and not create penalties that back us up, and it is just negative play. Sometimes it's center quarterback exchange type things where we don't get the snap right, it's too high, it's too low when we bobble it, and then we take a big negative play, and then we're behind the chains, and it's hard to continue drives like that. But for the most part, we've been able to hit some big plays along with our methodical drives. We get, like I said, off play action and things like that. So.
Yeah, and then defensively, boy, this season, like you mentioned, kind of got some new guys over there as well on the defensive side of the ball. And, yeah, it's been some tough sledding against some really tough competition, going up against some teams with some really great athletes. But you guys got a lot of athletic guys on that side of the football, don't you?
Yeah, we're very young in the secondary, but the more games, the more time they have, the better they're getting, the more comfortable they're getting. And that's the thing. Until you're comfortable, until you really understand what you're doing, what your expectation is, you don't play at your full speed until you're comfortable. And the more comfortable these guys get, the faster they're going to be able to play, and the better they're going to be able to do. And they'll be thinking less. So that's the main thing, and that's kind of what's big plays through the air for the most part. And usually it's in favorable down and distances for us, for the defense. So we just got to, when we get teams in the 3rd and long or in those type of situations, that we make sure we're getting off the field, that, we can't let somebody run by us in the secondary. It just can't happen. So, and just keep going up front. We got some new guys at defensive end, basically across the entire defense. But we've been working at what our role is, what our job is, what our responsibility is, and just doing that, believing in our team. We just need to do our job. So we've just been working on that, and just trying to be a solid, fundamental, disciplined defense.
And, boy, we were kind of talking about it. It's crazy. We're halfway through the season already. You make your way into week 2 of district play here. Got past Stockton last week, and now you get Oberlin coming to your place this week. And, obviously, Oberlin off to a great start at 3-1. They've been able to put up a bunch of points, and they're going to be a tough team tonight for you guys, aren't they?
Yeah, they definitely are. They're defensively, come from our offense. Looking at their defense, they do some things. I've noticed they've moved some guys around a little bit as well. But they got some guys that can definitely disrupt what you're trying to do offensively, whether that is in the run or the pass. But there's definitely some matchups that are unfavorable. I feel like in certain situations. So it's going to kind of determine how successful we are. Is how we handle those matchups and what we can do within our schemes and things that where we can try to gain an advantage there. But Oberlin was somewhat young last year, I felt like, and they gained all that experience last year, and they got a new coaching staff, so they have some new things to learn, I'm assuming, but they still got that experience, and they got a lot of returners coming back, so they're definitely a scary team.
And, like I mentioned, once again, halfway through the season here, and I know it wasn't the start you wanted there going 0-2, but have rallied back for back-to-back wins, a big win over Ellis a couple of weeks ago. So have to like, where your team's trending and kind of bringing some momentum into this matchup tonight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We felt after our 0-2 start, we played Ellis. We knew that was going to be a pretty tough game for us, and we felt like that was a must-win just for morale for our team, and to be able to get a nice win there. That was huge for us, and then to kind of keep it rolling last week in the opening district play with a win, and now this week, coming into our second district game. Both Oberlin and us 1-0 in district, so it's a very important in a district. I think that's you got a top five in this district. A lot could happen within those top five, I feel like, and every one of these games is going to be very important.
Well, Coach, thanks for being able to sit down and chat. We always appreciate it, and good luck tonight.
All right.
1, 2, what do I do? 3, 4, dents in my door. 5, 6, get them fixed. 7, 8, make them straight. 9, 10, paint it again.
Got a dent, scratch, or crunch? Don't stress it. Bring it to Creative Collision, where they make child's play out of bodywork. Stop in on North Highway 83 in Oberlin, Kansas, or call 785-470-2130.
Ever wonder why some people have a spring in their step? It's simple. Fuel. Quality fuel from Decatur Co-op. Without the right fuel, your day can feel like a drag. But with Decatur Co-op's premium Fieldmaster diesel or unleaded fuel delivered straight to you, those days of sluggish starts are over. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, they keep you moving. Check out their bulk fuel delivery today. Premium fuel and service you deserve at Decatur Co-op, with a location near you.
The popcorn is getting popped, the burgers are getting flipped, and the players are warming up. Red Devil football is just minutes away. Let's go live to the field to set the stage for tonight's game. Here's Sam Knoll.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here from Hoxie, Kansas for another edition of Red Devil Football, number 5, Week 5 edition of Red Devil Football, I should say. Can't believe it, over halfway through the 8 regular season games. Obviously, every team will most likely get 9 out of the season, but crazy out of the 8 you schedule. We're halfway through that is for sure. Once again, Oberlin 3-1, 1-0 in district play, meeting up with the Hoxie Indians, who are 2-2, and also 1-0 in district play. Beautiful night for football here in Hoxie. If you had to ask everybody, I'm sure they'd say it's just a hair windy, but other than that, I will take this. 87 degrees currently at the moment. Do have a pretty good, strong south wind coming in at about 21 miles an hour. Gusts getting higher than that as well. So we'll see if that affects the passing game at all tonight. I know Oberlin has loved to pass the football the past couple of weeks, and we'll hear that from Blake Gehring, that they kind of had to rely on that in the early going against St. Francis, so they have to do that against Hoxie here. Maybe a little bit of a problem with that win coming in from the south, but you got a great quarterback in Brady Gehring, that's for sure. But like I mentioned, beautiful night here for football, and here at Hoxie, they're having some renovations going on. That's why Hoxie actually had to play their first game on the road this season. They were supposed to host Osborne here at their football field, but actually had to move that game to Osborne due to kind of everything getting renovated around. They've put in a new track here, put some cement around the track, a new fence in. It's looking very, very nice. They still do have some orange construction fencing along this west side of the track where the scoreboard sits and the flagpole's at. I know they're going to put in kind of like a Hall of Fame thing over there as well. It's going to look really cool when all this is done, but the track is looking really, really awesome as well. I'd say they're about halfway done. I don't know construction project-wise, but they're looking very, very well. But the big thing was they put in some new lights, and those stanchions are up. They're tall, and those lights are going to provide some great lighting here tonight, that is for sure. So we're just a little under 20 minutes away here from kickoff from Hoxie, where the Oberlin Red Devils meet up against the Hoxie Indians. And tonight, as always, I feel like I preach it every week except last week. The Red Devils can stop the run. That'll be huge. Maybe force Hoxie's newly starting quarterback, Chase Meyer, to throw the ball a little bit. Kind of heard Lance Barr said it's just really been mostly out of the play action so far this season. So maybe get his feet wet in some different situations, can Oberlin, and stop the big play. Hoxie's kind of relied on it so far through the first few weeks, and they know if they can hit the big play, they'll be able to score a bunch of points. If Oberlin can do those two things defensively, they'll be able to come out on top. Offensively, Oberlin, they got to have a little bit of a better start running the football than they did last week. But Josiah still got his carries, still got a bunch of yards as well. But trying to find a good balance between him and Caden is going to be huge as well against a very athletic defense in Hoxie. We'll see what comes to head here tonight from Hoxie. It's week 2 of district action. 3-1 Oberlin, 2-2 Hoxie. Coming up here in just under 20 minutes. Coming up next on the Decatur Co-op Red Devil Game Day pregame show, we sit down and talk with head coach of the Red Devils, Blake Gehring. That's coming up next here on 101.1 KFNF.
Winter will be coming sooner than you think. It's time to start thinking about warmth and savings. Mid-Plains Energy offers propane delivery to keep your home cozy and your wallet happy. Sign up now to lock in the best rates. The earlier you join, the more you save. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, Mid-Plains Energy ensures reliable service and peace of mind. Mid-Plains Energy, your trusted partner for a warm winter. Call 785-678-2315 to learn more.
Let's get the thoughts from the head coach. It's time to talk with head coach Blake Gehring on Red Devil Game Day. Presented by Decatur Co-op.
Welcome back into our Decatur Co-op Red Devil Game Day pregame show as we get you set and ready to go for Red Devil football tonight as they take on another district opponent, the Hoxie Indians, and we're joined alongside with head coach of the Red Devils, Blake Gehring. Boy, coach, week 2 of district action already. We're going to talk about it all throughout the season, how fast it goes, but you kind of got that first district game behind you, and like we were talking last week, everybody's 0-0, and now you're making way into the second week, and kind of have to be happy where things are heading into the second week of district play, aren't you?
Yeah, we had a big week last week. We've talked about how district play kind of is a new start to the season. Everybody starts 0-0, and the game's just getting more important as we go on. And we've talked a lot to the guys about how we just got to go 1-0 each week, and we'll be just fine. And we had a good start last week. Looking forward to it this week.
And you mentioned along last week with homecoming, everything that goes with that, and kind of keeping the focus on the field through all of that as well. But and it was a long game too, about a 3-hour game with some penalties mixed in there as well. But you guys are able to come out on top over St. Francis 38-28. I guess kind of what were your overall thoughts after the win last Friday?
With homecoming, like you said, it's an awesome time. It's a fun time. But with some of that, there can be some distraction, and I think there was a little bit of that with us, especially early. We jumped off sides, way too many times, especially early. But then I feel like we kind of dialed it back in a little bit. We tried to control what we can control, and we were able to get it done. So yeah, I thought it was a good start.
And, like you mentioned, I kind of worked through some things in the beginning, but stay grounded, able to pull out the win. And I thought your team down the stretch played very, very well, especially in that fourth quarter. St. Francis was throwing everything at you. They were throwing the ball deep, getting a couple of big plays, and your guys stayed grounded and scored a couple of touchdowns to really seal the game. So for your team to do that in the fourth quarter, protecting the lead to continue to score is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. There in that fourth quarter, we were just exchanging punches. They would hit a big play, and Sowers hits a big run down the sideline, and they come back and hit another big play, and then Joe hits one down the sideline. So it was good to see, because we struggled to run the football early. We had to throw it to get our scores, and to see us be able to stick with it. Stick with the process and pop off a couple big runs. That's what we tell them. Like, they're going to come. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. And and for us to be able to pop those to kind of seal the game was huge. And there was even a time there in the middle where they had cut it down to 4, and we turn it over on downs. They get the ball, and defense gets a stop right away. So I thought we played really good complementary football there in the fourth quarter.
And, going into the game, I remember me and you talking, and it was kind of everything I brought up in the pregame show, limiting the big plays. And it seemed like there in the first few quarters, you guys were the ones that had the big plays, and you were able to stop them. I mean, to get a 70-yard bomb right away from Gage Willoughby, that was huge. And then another big play after that. And obviously, you like to methodically drive the ball down the field, take a time off. But to see your offense hit those big plays is huge too, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And teams are going to try to stack the box and try to get us to stop the run on us. So we have to be able to do that. When teams want to do that, we got to be able to make them pay with a one-on-one matchup on the outside. And I felt like we were able to do that. And they kind of did what we do a little bit on that first drive. They took their time getting down there and scoring a touchdown, and then we had to respond. So, and I feel like we really needed that play from Gage. We shot ourselves in the foot and got backed way up. I felt like we were kind of getting a little bit discouraged. They had just scored on us, and then we hit a big play, and I felt like that just kind of gave us the energy that we needed.
Yeah, and you mentioned Gage there going for the touchdown, had a couple more scores through the air with him last week, and we talk about it every week. Gage is always there for the big play, and it adds a lot to the offense, obviously, when Gage can do it, but everybody can do it. To obviously, you like to have Gage hit the big play, but, you can pass it to him normally as well. But for anybody at any moment on the offensive side to break a big play like that is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's kind of what you saw there on Friday was, Caden Sowers had a big run. Josiah's, going to have his big runs. And then Gage is hitting big plays. It just, I really feel like it puts defenses in a tough spot when we can do that. And like you said, when it's not just a threat to get the ball, but a threat to score.
And you kind of mentioned Caden there with a big run down the stretch. Obviously, Joe had a big one as well. But for Caden, I thought that was huge, especially going forward for defenses, maybe to respect him a little bit more. Not that they didn't already, but, Caden's kind of that ground and pound guy, 3 yards in the cloud of dust. He'll run it up the middle for you. But for him to break out on a big run like that, that's something he can do at any time. And so that was huge from him, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And then, that was a huge run. That was right in front of our sideline, and I'm just yelling, stay in bounds, and keep the clock running. And next thing I know, he's tiptoeing down the sideline, and he's gone. So, it was that was awesome. And like you said, he's averaging a good chunk of yards per carry. It just seems like he gets 3, 5, 6, and whatever. So it was nice to see him pop one off for sure.
Talking with Blake Gehring here, head coach of the Oberlin Red Devils, before they take on the Hoxie Indians tonight. On the defensive side of the ball, you mentioned it. St. Francis goes down. They do a long, methodical drive. Took, I think, almost 7 minutes off the clock right there. But from that point on, you really limited them, in the big play situation until kind of the fourth quarter. But, I thought you really kind of made them didn't really know what they wanted to do on offense. They couldn't really throw it, couldn't really run it, and that's a predicament you want to put every opposing offense in, right?
Yeah, we gave up some big plays against Wallace County, and we talked to our DBs about how, they're going to be challenged, not especially with St. Francis, but with a lot of teams. Teams are going to see that film, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to try to attack these guys, and, they got to take on the challenge. And I felt like but all of our DBs really did that. I thought I was really happy with how they played. Even in the fourth quarter, they hit that big one over Brady, but he's in a good spot. The kid just makes a really good play and stays on his feet and almost scores a touchdown. So sometimes guys are going to make plays, but I thought our defensive backs played really well, and really that comes with the whole unit. Because the DB's best friend is going to be the pressure from the defensive line. So. I thought they played well.
Yeah, you mentioned that pressure from the defensive line. That's something that this season I felt like you guys haven't really had an issue with, and hopefully continue that. Where Rustin and Theo Butterfield and a few others are just always in the backfield. And when you can have multiple guys always in the backfield, it doesn't. It's going to throw that quarterback off. Every single time, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And, we lean on those guys as a defensive unit to kind of get us going and to kind of, to set the tone for us. And I felt like they really did that. Like you said, it put St. Francis in a bind. It's like, yeah, they want to throw the ball and hit the big play, but they also know that they got those guys coming at them up front. It makes life a little difficult.
And I thought the fourth quarter was, you kind of mentioned the big fourth down stop there, after you guys turned it over on downs as well, where it was a 4-point game. Your defense gets a stop there. But even after you guys kind of scored a couple of times there, for your defense, time in and time out to go out there and, make them really work to get into the end zone. I know they did a couple of times there, but still, it was an interesting fourth quarter. And with all of that, you guys were able to get a couple of big stops, weren't you?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that just comes down to the whole unit playing together. With a team like that, they're gonna hit some big plays. They're gonna make some good plays. They got good athletes, and we just got to have that next play mentality and keep coming at them and doing what we're supposed to do and doing our job.
And now in back-to-back games, I felt like you've had, a lot of things thrown at you in two games. Obviously, in Wallace County, dealt with some turnovers and had to overcome that. And then here against St. Francis, maybe some calls weren't going your way, penalties here or there. It was a weird, kind of type of game in that instance. And for your guys to kind of stay grounded through all of that, I know that's big to have that early here as we make our way into some important games down the stretch, right?
Yeah, it really is. One of these weeks, I'm hoping everything lines up where it's we make it a little easier on ourselves here. But it really has, and that's football. Football is so much about adversity and momentum swings, and but we just have to control what we can control. We can't control if we get called for a penalty. I mean, there are some that we can control, but if we disagree with it, we just got to move on and keep playing. And we made some mental errors there. That we can control, that we got to clean up, but it's nice to see us hit some adversity and then respond to it. You're exactly right. That's super encouraging to see, especially coming into this early part of districts.
And now you're making it into week 2 of district play here, taking on a rival again in Hoxie, traveling on the road for this one. And obviously everybody knows what Hoxie did last year, winning the state championship. They're 2-2 this season, and yeah, they lost a lot from last year, but they still return a ton of athletes, both offensively and defensively. And yeah, they lost their first 2 games of the season, but they've looked really good the past 2 weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. And they got a championship pedigree, and that means something. They don't just want to win; they expect to win, and that's just kind of their mentality with how that program's going, and how successful they've been in the past. So, it's going to be a tough game. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great challenge. They're playing some good football right now. And like you mentioned, they got some good athletes. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
And officially halfway through the season, through 4 weeks, entering week 5, I guess. What is some things you want to see kind of out of your team? I know it's been a 3-1 start, but there's always chances to get better. What are you hoping to see out of them kind of this second half of the season to maybe take them up to another level?
We talked about it a little bit, but I think it comes down to, and we've talked about it throughout the week of practice, is just being disciplined and controlling what we can control, and to clean up the things that we can control to help ourselves out. The Wallace game with the turnovers, and then St. Francis with the penalties, and we had a bunch of penalties against Dighton too, and we just got to clean that stuff up and try to make our lives a little easier. Clean up the fumbled snaps that put us behind the chains, and all those. It's just a bunch of little things that we need to clean up that I think could really help us out and turn into big things.
Well, Coach, thanks for being able to sit down. We always appreciate it, and good luck tonight.
Major Oil and Hoxie will deliver bulk fuel right to your door or farm. Farm diesel, highway diesel, gas or propane. Also oils from quarts to totes up to 275 gallon. Major Oil has been servicing Northwest Kansas for over 40 years. Give them a call today at 785-675-3903. That's 785-675-3903. Or stop by Bainter Oil in downtown Hoxie. You'll be glad you did.
Ever wonder why some people have a spring in their step? It's simple. Fuel. Quality fuel from Decatur Co-op. Without the right fuel, your day can feel like a drag. But with Decatur Co-op's premium Fieldmaster diesel or unleaded fuel delivered straight to you, those days of sluggish starts are over. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, they keep you moving. Check out their bulk fuel delivery today. Premium fuel and service you deserve at Decatur Co-op, with a location near you.
Decatur County Beef in Oberlin, Kansas wants to do business with the local farmers. They need high moisture corn, silage, and hay now, and dry corn now through October. Decatur County Beef offers very competitive prices, always looking for good help. Give Decatur County Beef a call. You'll be glad you did. That's Decatur County Beef, just north of Oberlin on Highway 83.
The First State Bank of Hoxie is ready, willing, and able to serve all your banking needs. Whether it's a checking or savings account, CDs, personal or farm loans, First State Bank of Hoxie can be your bank. They are large enough to serve you, but small enough to know you. And First State Bank of Hoxie is a proud supporter of the Hoxie Indians. Go fight, win with First State Bank of Hoxie, member FDIC.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here from Hoxie High School. We're just about set and ready to go on this windy but beautiful evening here in Hoxie, Kansas for a little high school and Oberlin Red Devil football. Beautiful night. Coin toss just happened as captains from each team made their way out to the 40-yard line, and it was Oberlin winning the toss, so that makes them 5 for 5 on the season to winning tosses. They win the toss. They elected to receive, so they will open up with the football here tonight. So run you through your starting lineups quickly for the Oberlin Red Devils on the offensive side of the football. On the offensive line, it's Gus Simic, 5'11", 220-pound junior. Caden Shaw, 6', 230-pound junior. And Rustin Bailey, 6', 205-pound junior. At the quarterback spot, 5'10", 140-pound sophomore Brady Gehring. At the running back spot, 5'8", 180-pound junior Josiah Pattengall. Wide receiver / running back, Caden Sowers, 5'8", 160-pound sophomore. And Gage Willoughby, 6', 170-pound junior. Tight end here tonight for the Red Devils will be Cohen Anderson, 6'1", 165-pound junior. At the wide receiver spot tonight, Gage Willoughby, 6', 170-pound junior. On the defensive side of the football for the Hoxie Indians, under head coach Lance Barr, across the defensive line, 5'9", 165-pound senior Caden Beckman, 6', 280-pound senior Javon Catchell, the lone one of the returners from last season. He started just on the offensive side of the ball last year, but gets a start up front of the nose guard spot this season. Griffin Czar, 6'2", 185-pound sophomore, the other defensive end. Linebackers for the Hoxie Indians, 5'10", 135-pound freshman Kellen Kressler, who got his first start of his career last week. 6'1", 200-pound junior Matt Bretz, 5'9", 160-pound sophomore Noah Nicholson. And the secondary, Chase Meyer, 5'9", 155-pound junior, and Gage Epp, 5'4", 5'9", 150-pound freshman. So we are just about set and ready to go here from Hoxie, and Gage Epp has got the ball teed up right at the 30-yard line. Back deep to receive for the Red Devils is Josiah Pattengall, and Gage Willoughby, and this kick will bounce at the 10-yard line and make its way out of bounds on the near side of the field. The field here at Hoxie sits east to west, and the sun is just settling down as it'll crest beneath the Hoxie High School, which sits to the west of us here in just a few minutes, and those lights will certainly be heavily relied on. So Oberlin will get the ball, first down and 10, penalty right off the bat for Hoxie with that kick out of bounds, and so it'll be a 15-yard penalty that Oberlin will take. And so it will be first down and 10 for the Red Devils from the 25-yard line. So Oberlin, which put up 387 yards of total offense last week, out here for possession number one. Brady to the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Josiah, gets off the right side. He's at the 35 to the 30, at the 25 to the 30, wrapped up just across the 30-yard line at about the 32 with a great pickup there on first down of about 7 for Josiah Pattengall, and sets up second and short here for Oberlin. Here's second down at about 3 is what they're going to call it. So second and about 3 here for the Red Devils from the 32-yard line of their own. Brady out of the shotgun, got Josiah in his right hip, one receiver out at the far side of Willoughby, sends a man in motion left to right across the line. Sowers takes the snap, hands it off to Josiah, who's wrapped up the line, now bounces back. He's got some running room out across the 35 to the 40 and out to the 41-yard line before he's finally wrapped up and brought down there just across the 40-yard line. So a great pickup on second down there for the Red Devils from the 32 out to about the 38-yard line. Good pickup for Josiah there. And Brady now out of the shotgun again, takes the snap, looking, hands it off to Caden Sowers off the right side of the 40 to the 35 before he's finally pushed out of bounds on the far side of the field. That gain before was a pickup of 10 there from Caden Sowers and from Josiah. Caden Sowers gets into the mix right there with a nice pickup on first down of 4 to force second down and 6 here for Oberlin. Quarter number 1, 10:45 left. Oberlin with the football from the Hoxie 34-yard line. Brady to the shotgun, one receiver to the near side, one to the far. Got Josiah in his left hip, now motions him over to the right hip. Brady takes the snap at the chest, looking, throws it out in the flat pass caught by Gage Willoughby at the 30, still on his feet to the 35, but they say his knee went down. He slipped a little bit when he caught the ball out there in the flat, right at about the 30, and made his way out to the 28-yard line before he's wrapped up. Not wrapped up, but that's where the knee went down, and they're going to say he needed 6 and picked up 6 1/4 to move the sticks for the Red Devils here with 10:36 to go in the first quarter of play. Brady Gehring out of the shotgun here. Got Josiah Pattengall on his right hip. Gage Willoughby, the far receiver, out to the far side of the field. Sends a man in motion right to left across the line. Caden Sowers. Brady takes the snap, hands it off to Josiah. Josiah at the 30. Still on his feet before he's wrapped up and brought down there. And it was a good tackle up front by Javen Ketchel, along with a couple of others up front for the Hoxie Indians to wrap them up just for the short gain. Shortest gain of the day rushing-wise for the Red Devils of just 2 yards. Brings up second down and 8 for the Red Devils from the 25-yard line. They say officially on the scoreboard. 3 down linemen for the Red Devils here. Brady to the shotgun, sends them in motion right to left. Now on the line is Caden Sowers, one receiver out either way. It's a handoff to Josiah, cuts off to the right side, 25 to the 20, still on his feet as he gets corner. 15, 10, 5, still on his feet, diving for the pylon. He's going to come up about 3 or 4 yards short, but Josiah Pattengall, just on kind of a little HB counter off to the far side of the football field, takes it for a big gain of 14 yards and picks up quite a few. Pickup of 21, actually, there for Josiah. Sets up the Red Devils' first down and goal from the Hoxie 40-yard line with 9:42 to go. Brady out of the shotgun. Josiah on his right hip takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah cutting back, trying to weave his way through the defensive line, and he will be stuffed. 3 different defensive linemen for the Hoxie Indians coming up to stop him, as well as Noah Nicholson and a couple of others as well in on the tackle. Logan Heskett in there as well, I think. As we can see, Oberlin driving towards the east on this east-west facing field. They have second down and goal to go from the 4-yard line of the Hoxie Indians. Brady out of the shotgun. Josiah on his right hip motions Caden Sowers right to left across the line. Takes a snap, hands it off to Joe again. He slips in the backfield, and Matt Bretz fell on top of him. Either way, if Joe was able to get back up to the line of scrimmage, Matt Bretz would have met him and forced him backwards, and it's a loss of 1 there for Joe as his knee went down at the 5-yard line. And so it forced third down and goal for the Red Devils from the 5. This is a big opportunity for the Red Devils to strike first. 8:47 to go in the first quarter of play. Little mix of pass and run, but mostly run on this first possession for Blake Gehring and his squad. Brady Gehring now out of the shotgun. Josiah Pattengall on his right hip. One receiver to the far side of the field is Gage Willoughby. Gehring takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah left side trying to get the corner. He's at the 5. Now dives his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Josiah Pattengall shoving 2 defenders off with a stiff arm on the near side of the field, dives his way for the near side pylon and gets in for the touchdown. On 3rd and goal, Josiah Pattengall picks up touchdown number 9 for him on the year, the first of the night, and the Red Devils strike first with 8:25 to go, and they lead 6-0. So a big score right there for Josiah Pattengall, a 5-yard touchdown run, and now the Red Devils going for the 2-point conversion. Gehring out of the shotgun, Pattengall on the left hip, one receiver to the near side, takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah trying to get the corner, now runs it back up the middle. Did he get to the pylon and in? No, they're going to mark him about a half-foot short, and so Hoxie remains strong there on the 2-point conversion, but the Red Devils go down and score right away against this tough Hoxie Indian defense and lead 6-0 with 8:25 to go in quarter number 1. This is Red Devil football.
Chronic pain is a common condition with many possible treatment options that may include joint injections, nerve blocks, physical therapy, or radiofrequency ablation, depending on a provider's recommendation. Decatur Health shares this information to support community health education and awareness. By working together with specialists and primary care providers, Decatur Health helps patients and families understand available approaches to chronic pain. Learn more about chronic pain options at decaturhealth.org.
The Red Devils play here on today's best country, 101.1 AFNF.
Red Devils strike first here with 8:25 to go in the first quarter of play on a Josiah Pattengall 5-yard touchdown run. It was heavy Josiah Pattengall on the drive that methodically went down the field. Red Devils started with the ball at their own 20 and drove all the way down. Josiah on that drive, 7 carries for 44 yards, and they cap it off with a score from himself. Stiff arm 2 defenders to get his way to the end zone, diving for the near side pylon. Gage Willoughby has it teed up at the 30-yard line. 2 returners back deep here for the Indians, and Willoughby sends an end-over-end boot that'll be over their head and into the back of the end zone and out of bounds. So I think Hoxie kind of had lined up there, maybe thinking of a little bit of a squib kick, but instead Gage Willoughby, with the wind at his kind of blowing from the south sideline up to the north sideline, was able to boot it through that and put it into the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Hoxie will now take over with the football, first down and 10 from their own 15-yard line to open up their first drive of the game. Chase Meyer, starting quarterback, Noah Nicholson, Matt Bretz, a couple of running backs back there tonight here for the Indians. It'll be Meyer out of the shotgun. He's got Bretz on his right hip, takes a snap, a high one, fakes the pitch out to him, and now Meyer's got nowhere to go as he tries to get to the far side of the field and make something out of nothing there. The snap kind of made everything not flow real well. well on that play, and it's going to be a loss of 1 and stick Hoxie behind the chains, and that's something that, Coach Lance Barr said in the pregame show when we talked to him in a Red Devil opposition. Can't be behind the chains against a tough defense like this in Oberlin. So Chase Meyer goes for a loss of 1 on his first carry of the day, sets up second down at 11 for the Indians from their own 14-yard line. Meyer will go under center. He's got Bretz all the way behind him, takes the snap, pitches it out to Bretz, who swarmed to the backfield, avoids 1-2 defenders before he's finally met by Rustin Bailey and shoved backwards with forward progress, and the Red Devils are just flocking to the football like they have all season long and stopping the run, and that's what I mentioned kind of when we set the stage. Red Devils, if they can stop the run, that'll be huge. Rustin Bailey was the man to finally wrap up Bretz, but a couple got back to him first before that. It's a loss of 3, and Hoxie has went nowhere but backwards on this first possession. It's now third down and 14 for the Indians from their own 11-yard line. Oberlin trying to swarm, I'm sure, Chase Meyer back there again in almost certain pass situation. Meyer out of the shotgun. He's got Bretz on his right hip, sends him in motion left to right across the line. Takes a snap, rolling out to his right. It's a throw back over the middle. The pass is caught by Griffin Czar, but then they were trying to set up a screen to him and wrapping him up and bringing him down from behind is Cohen Anderson, and so that'll force fourth down and long, 4th and 12. They do say it's a pickup of 2 there from Chase Meyer to Griffin Czar, but not much, and it brings up 4th and 12 from the 13-yard line for the Indians, and they'll have to punt it away. Matt Brett's back there to punt it. It'll be Caden Sowers to return it. He stands at the 20. This punt going to the far side of the field, takes a bounce in front of the 35, rolling all the way inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. That's where it'll be down, and Oberlin will get the football back, so just a couple of minutes runs off the clock there as Hoxie did not gain a positive yard across the first down marker, I should say. Did get 2 through the air positive, but nowhere when trying to run the football as 2 carries for a loss of 4 yards on that, and Oberlin takes back over after the punt with first down and 10 from the 28-yard line on their side of the 40. Brady Gehring out of the shotgun. Josiah Pattengall on his left hip. One receiver to the far side of the field. Takes a snap, hands it off to Josiah. Right side, trying to get to the 30 on the far side of the field, and he's wrapped up and brought down from behind. Matt Brett's reading that one the whole way on the kind of that student body to the right or to the far side of the field play as Oberlin drives west to east here at Hoxie. 6:06 and counting to go. They say Josiah able to get maybe a yard there to pick up 1 and brings up second down at about 9. Yes, second down and 9 for the Red Devils from the 29-yard line. Out of the shotgun is Brady. One receiver to the near side, one to the far side. He's got Josiah Pattengall on his right hip. Takes a snap, Gehring looking, throws down the flat pass caught by Gage Willoughby. The 35 turns the corner, still on his feet, breaks it a tackle at the 40 inside Hoxie territory to about the 39-yard line before he's wrapped up and shoved out of bounds. So good pickup again through the air there for the Red Devils, taking it from their own 29 to Hoxie's 30 to Hoxie's 39-yard line. Pickup of 12 through the air there for the Red Devils, and Brady Gehring to Gage Willoughby. Brady 2 for 2 throwing for 18 yards. Both of those passes going to Gage Willoughby. Actually make it 13 yards, as they say. He went out to the 38. So Oberlin has it first down and 10 from the Hoxie 38-yard line. Brady Gehring out of the shotgun. He's got Josiah Pattengall on his left hip. Takes the snap, hands it off to Josiah. Josiah running it up the middle of the field. Gets out across the 35, down inside the 35 to about the 34. Pickup of 4 on first down there for Josiah to set up second down and 6 for the Red Devils with 5:01 and counting to go here in quarter number 1. And cool thing that Hoxie has added with all these renovations is the play clock. And you don't see that too many times. An 8-man kind of have to rely on the back judge, but Oberlin and Hoxie tonight can rely on the play clock, which sits behind either end zone here on the east or the west. Play clock sitting at 11 seconds as Oberlin breaks the huddle. Gehring out of the shotgun, sends Sowers left to right across the line, takes a snap, hands it off to Josiah. Met in the backfield, and he's wrapped up and brought down. Josiah tried to cut back up the middle, but he was met by a lot of Hoxie Indian defenders. Couldn't see really who came in and got him in the end. I think Noah Nicholson was in there along with a couple of others, and so that'll force him to go backwards and make third down and about 8 or 7 here. Third down at about 7 after the loss of 1. 4:06 to go in the first quarter of play. Gehring out of the shotgun. Pattengall on his right hip takes a snap. Gehring looking to throw, wants the deep ball. Now he just throws a little floater pass caught at the 20-yard line by Caden Sowers, but this one might be coming back as a flag comes in. It's thrown all the way back across the 40-yard line. And we'll see what it's going to be here. The pass was caught by Caden Sowers at the 20 to move the sticks. Brady doing a good job floating that ball over the top of the linebackers of the Indians. But yes, as everyone is indicating on the field, this one is going back the other way. Holding called on Oberlin. And so it'll make 3rd down and long here, as the spot of the foul from the flag is way back in Oberlin territory at the 38. They're just going to go to about the 35 of the Red Devils there. So it'll make 3rd down and long for Oberlin, as they have the football now on their side of the 40. Makes it 3rd down and 15 for the Red Devils. Gehring will go out of the shotgun here. He's got Josiah Pattengall on his left hip. One receiver to the near side of Willoughby. Caden Sowers on the line to the left. Takes a snap. A little option play. Brady running it up the middle of the field, and he'll be rocked after a short gain there. And Gehring running the option. Hadn't really seen that out of Brady so far this season, but he's able to pick up just a few yards and makes 4th and decision time here for Blake Gehring and the Red Devil offense. Just a pickup of 2 there from Brady on the option keeper up the middle after the Red Devils lost 10 there on that holding penalty, and they are going to punt it away. Here's the snap. Willoughby looking to punt it. He does. Punts it from the 30. The ball will take a bounce at the 10, roll inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5, all the way down to the 1-yard line. How about that punt from Gage Willoughby? 41 yards for the punt, and once again, Hoxie will be deep in their own territory with the football. 1st down and 10 from their own 1-yard line. How about that from Brady Gehring? From Gage Willoughby on that punt, goes for 41 yards and forces 1st down and 10 for the Indians from their own 1-yard line. So Hoxie tried to run the ball a couple of times, but it went nowhere but backwards there. Did get a couple on a screen pass, but didn't move in front of the chains on that first possession. Meyer out of the shotgun here. Got a man on his hip to the right. It's Nicholson. Takes a snap. QB run off the right side. Caden Sowers there to wrap him up on the near side of the field for just a short gain as they get out across the 1-yard line and maybe get a little bit of cushion, but not much after just a short pickup of about 2 there to force 2nd down and 8. 2:40 to go in the first quarter of play. Oberlin with the lead 6-0 over rival Hoxie here in this District 8 matchup. That's got a lot of implications on it, with each of these teams being 1-0. So Chase Myers goes for a rush of 2 there. 2nd and 8. He's out of the shotgun again. Nicholson on his right hip. Takes the snap, hands it off to Nicholson. Left side, turning the corner. He's at the 5, breaks back up the field. He's wrapped up and brought down at the 10. A flag does come in, though, and the way the Hoxie Indian faithful were saying, it might be on Oberlin here, as that flag came in just in front of the 10-yard line at about the 8. Nicholson made it out to the 9, they officially say, and a face mask going to be called on the Red Devils, and so that will add on to the run there for about 10 yards. So Oberlin with a couple of penalties. That's something Blake Gehring said that they wanted to clean up. So a pickup of 6 there for Nicholson, but the extra 10 yards makes it go all the way out to the 19. Hoxie with the football, 1st down and 10 from their own 19. 1:57 left in the first quarter. Takes the snap, hands it off. Meyer to Bretz off the right side. He's bottled up and brought down for a short gain as he was able to get across the line of scrimmage, but then the Red Devil linebacker core came in, wrapped him up and brought him down. I think Cohen Anderson, Caden Sowers were both in there on the stop, and it's a 2nd down and short situation, 2nd down and long situation here for the Indians with 1:32 left in quarter number 1. So 1:26 and counting to go. Just a pickup of 2 there for Matt Bretz. Meyer out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Nicholson. He's looking to throw, has a man wide open. It's Matt Bretz at the 35, makes the catch and is finally wrapped up and brought down from behind by Brady Gehring at the 40-yard line. And there is that big chunk play that the Red Devils were looking to avoid, those big plays, as it goes for a pickup of 19 through the air from Chase Meyer, hitting Matt Bretz over the middle of the field on a little bit of a play-action pass. Great dial-up play there from Lance Barr as the Indians now run up to the line, going quick with 1:04 left in the first quarter. Meyer out of the shotgun. QB design run off the left side. Gets across the 40, but he's wrapped up and brought down from behind. Theo Butterfield, the one to get to him. With 53 seconds and counting to go, no gain on that one from Chase Meyer. So 2nd and 10 again here for Hoxie with the football, as the football sitting completely across the 40 but not to the 39, as they do have 2nd and 9 on the scoreboard, so they say just a pickup of 1 there from Meyer. Meyer will go under center, I formation look. Nicholson at the tip of the eye to pitch to him, trying to get the corner on the far side of the field. He's at the 40, breaks a tackle, still on his feet to the 35 before he's finally shoved out of bounds at the 34-yard line of Oberlin. Pickup of 5 there for none other than Noah Nicholson, who's kind of been the positive gainer out of the backfield so far on this drive. And that'll be the final play of this first quarter as time ticks away down to about 5 seconds left here in this one. Now 2-1, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. So Oberlin takes their first drive down and scores. Each team exchange punts, but Hoxie going on a drive here that they'll take back over from the Oberlin 25 as we make our way into quarter number 2. It's Oberlin 6, Hoxie 0. 1 quarter in the books here on 101.1 KFNF.
Isn't it a great feeling of assurance when you have 100% insurance? This feeling can be yours on all your insurance. Whether it's business, rental, car, home, farm, health, or life insurance, the friendly folks at Hoxie State Insurance are your independent agents, so they can give you just the precise insurance at the lowest rate possible. Agent Shane, Clara Lou, Garrett, or Dustin will help you attain personal assurance with first-rate insurance. Hoxie State Insurance.
Farm Credit of Western Kansas is synonymous with giving back to the community and its members. Whether it's attending events such as wheat plot tours, serving on various boards and committees, volunteering at local county fairs, or delivering $5.5 million in cash patronage checks, Farm Credit of Western Kansas is community driven. Stop in at 1190 South Range in Colby or one of our convenient outpost offices. Farm Credit of Western Kansas, financing ag for generations.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Start of the second quarter, Chase Meyer bobbles the football but is able to get it off to Matt Bretz, who goes off the right side of the line and picks up a few yards to force 4th down and just a short yardage here for Hoxie as they have the football. 4th down and about a yard there after a short pickup of 3 from Matt Bretz to open up the second quarter. Oberlin with the lead 6-0, but Hoxie going on a nice long drive. Got a big pickup in the middle of this drive of 19 yards through the air from Meyer to Bretz, and they're using that momentum as they drive deeper into Oberlin territory. It's 4th and 1 from the Oberlin 31-yard line. Meyer out of the shotgun. QB design run off the left side. He's able to find a hole and breaks 1 tackle, 2. Brady Gehring finally has him wrapped up and will be brought down, dragging Brady Gehring with them all the way to the 21-yard line. So on 4th and 1, Chase Meyer on a QB keeper off the near side goes for 11 yards and sets up Hoxie perfect at the beginning of the red zone. 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Great run right there by Chase Meyer. Avoided a couple of tackles after waiting for the hole to open, and then he drugged Brady Gehring with him for a couple yards before finally he went down. 1st down and 10 for Hoxie on the near side hash from the Oberlin 20-yard line. Meyer out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, 4 down lineman. Takes a snap, hands it off. Brett's off the right side. He's wrapped up and brought down to the backfield, maybe for a no gain. Yes, that's what it'll be. Coming in to stop him was Josiah Pattengall, Theo Butterfield in there as well, and it stops them back behind the chains for a loss of 1 there from Matt Bretz, and it will bring up 2nd down. So it'll bring up 2nd down and long here for Hoxie, as actually no gain on that play there as the football just sitting barely behind the sticks. Yeah, actually now they're going to say a loss of 1. So 2nd and 11. Out of the shotgun is Meyer. Takes a snap, trying to hand it off to Nicholson. Ball on the turf. Everybody flocking everywhere. Black and white jerseys. Who's on top of it? Coming out on the bottom of it was Christian Smith-Titus, but they're going to say Hoxie was able to recover it before Christian was able to strip the ball out from whoever picked it up there. And I think Chase Meyer was the one that was able to fall back on top of it after the little miscommunication between the snap and the handoff there. It ends up going for a loss of 3 for Meyer and the Indians, who now have it 3rd down and 13 from the Oberlin 23. Oberlin trying to use this to their advantage as Meyer goes out of the shotgun. Brett's on his right hip, one receiver to the near and one to the far. Takes the snap, looking, throws it over the middle. Pass caught right there, wrapping up and bringing back down. The pass was caught by Griffin Czar, his second reception of the day, for a little short gain out across the 20, inside the 20, I should say, to about the 19, 18-yard line before it'll finally be wrapped up and brought down. So just a pickup of about 5 there or so through the air from Chase Meyer to Griffin Czar for his second reception. Chase Meyer 3 of 3 throwing, I should say, for 26 yards. And they say 4th down and 8 for the Indians from the Oberlin 18-yard line. Coach Barr going for it here. Meyer out of the shotgun. Got a man on his left hip, 2 receivers to the far side, and the Red Devils are going to jump off sides. Rustin Bailey on the far side of the line. Chase Meyer doing a great job. That penalty yardage, though, will make it 4th down and 3, so they're still going to have to go for this on 4th down unless this is an automatic first down here, which it might be, but we do have a timeout on the field. Was the penalty in there before? Yes, they're going to say a timeout happened before the penalty happened, so Red Devils off the hook there as Rustin Bailey jumped off sides, and Oberlin got lucky. 8:46 to go here in this second quarter. We'll keep it right here. Oberlin in front, 6-0. Like to thank some more of our sponsors today: Aqua Shield Roofing, Bainter Oil, Colby Ag Center, Creative Collision, Colligan of Oberlin, Decatur Co-op, Decatur County Beef, Decatur Health, Farm Credit of Western Kansas, First State Bank of Hoxie, FNB Bank of Oberlin, Frederickson Insurance Agency, Hoxie State Insurance. Big thank you to all of them for supporting Hoxie Indian and Oberlin Red Devil Athletics here on 101.1 KFNF. 8:46 left in this first half. Oberlin in front 6-0, coming out of a timeout here. Didn't see who was on that timeout, but we are coming out of a timeout. As with the football, 4th down and 8, so Oberlin saved off a penalty there as Rustin Bailey did jump off sides, but the timeout was called before that happened. Meyer out of the shotgun, sends Brett in motion out to the left, so it's 2 receivers to either side. Now sends a man in motion right to left. Behind him, it's Nicholson. Looking, takes the snap. Meyer running out to his right, trying to throw, and the pass is deflected and brought down by Caden Sowers, who came in and read the eyes of the quarterback. Chase Meyer jumped up as high as he could and knocks the ball out of the air to force a turnover on downs, and Oberlin picks it up. 1st down and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Big play right there by Caden Sowers, and Oberlin takes advantage of that mishandled snap in the backfield, use it to their advantage, because that was one of the best Hoxie drives they put together so far today. But Oberlin now trying to capitalize on it and turn it into points as they have it 1st down and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Gehring out of the shotgun. He's got Patton Gall on his left hip, 1 receiver out to either side. Takes the snap. Barry looking to throw, throws out in the flat, pass caught at the 21, and then being rocked from behind by Chase Meyer is Gage Willoughby, just for a short pickup of 3 there through the air. And by short, I mean it was short and hard 3 yards as Chase Meyer rocked Gage Willoughby from behind just for the short pickup. Forces 2nd down and 7. They say the ball at the 22-yard line of the Oberlin Red Devils, who break the huddle and run their way out with 8:11 to go in the first half of play. In front 6-0. Gehring out of the shotgun. Sowers directly behind him. Patton Gall on his left hip. He's got Willoughby out as a receiver. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Caden off the left side, trying to get the corner reach to the 25. Still on his feet to the 30. Still going there. Breaks another tackle to the 35. Dragging the defender with him out to the 36-yard line. Big pickup right there by Caden Sowers, who showed he can run the football very well last week and shows it again there with a pickup of 14 yards with 7:48 to go in the first half. Still 6-0 Oberlin as they continue to drive, trying to get into Hoxie territory here. 1st down and 10 from their own 36-yard line from the far side hash, driving towards the west. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on his right hip, 1 receiver to the near side. Sends Sowers in motion right to left across the line. Gehring takes the snap, hands it off. Josiah up the middle across the 35, 36, 37 before he'll finally be wrapped up and brought down for a short pickup here with 7:20 to go in the first half. 11th rush right there for Josiah. Pickup of 2. Really started out the game hot with the rushes of 7, 10, and 21. But since then, been some tough sledding. 50 yards for him so far at 44 on that first drive. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. 6-0 Oberlin. Now the ball centered up in the middle of the field. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on his right hip. 2 receivers to the near side. Sends Sowers in motion now on the line from the right. Gehring takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah left side across the 40. Lowers his shoulder and is able to get out inside to Hoxie Indian territory. Again with just another short chunk of yards, but able to pick him up and force 3rd down. And 5 here is what they're going to say after a 3-yard gain. So Oberlin trying to run the football. They've been able to. It's just been short chunks of yards. I'm sure Coach Gehring would like it to be more in that 5 or 6 yard range, but he'll take the 2 and 3 yard gainers any day as well. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on his right hip, sends Sowers in motion right to left on 3rd and 5 from the Hoxie 39. Hand off to Josiah, weaving his way through defenders, but then he'll be wrapped up and brought down again. And that Hoxie defense continues to swarm him. Noah Nicholson in there, as well as Chase Meyer came in from the DB spot to come up with a tackle, and it forces 4th down and still a good chunk of yards for the Red Devils. They say 4th and 3 here for Oberlin from the Hoxie 37-yard line. Quarter number 2, 5:43 left. Oberlin trying to go on a couple of long, methodical drives here. One receiver to the near side, Gage Willoughby. Gehring out of the shotgun. Sowers directly behind him. Patton Gall on his left hip. Brady trying to draw him off sides. Now takes it, hands it off to Sowers at the 40. Cuts back 35, lowers his shoulder, gets the sticks and more as he drags a defender across the sticks with him to pick up the first down. Caden Sowers, when in doubt, hand it off to him. He'll get you a first down as he takes it inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line, to actually a 33. So on 4th and 3 there, a pickup of 5 from none other than Caden Sowers, who, like I mentioned last week, broke that long, big run, showed that he can really run the football and break off big runs as well, and he's got a couple so far. 3 carries for him for a short 23 yards, but they've been very meaningful. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Gehring out of the shotgun, sending a couple of man in motion across the line. Patton Gall on his left hip takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Josiah, looking to throw over the middle. Pass caught by Gage Willoughby inside the 25 at about the 24, just in front of the sticks. Might be enough to move him, and that was a great throw right over the middle there as Gage Willoughby comes up with the reception, just a hair short. He needed 10 and picked up 9 through the air there, but Brady remains a perfect 4 for 4 with all of his completions going to you-know-who, Gage Willoughby. 4:32 left in the first half. 2nd down and 1 for the Red Devils from the Hoxie 23-yard line. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on the left hip. One receiver to the far side. Sowers comes into motion left to right. Heavy set line to the right. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Patton Gall. Now he's looking to throw. He'll be wrapped up and brought down. Brady Gehring held it for just a second too long, and he's swarmed by 2 Hoxie defenders. Noah Nicholson as well as Griffin Czar come in to wrap up and bring down the sophomore quarterback for a huge loss to force 3rd down and 9 here for Oberlin. So a loss of 8 for Brady Gehring there. And it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Oberlin from across the 30 at about the 31. Not the way Oberlin wanted to go there. 3:44 and counting to go in the first half. Oberlin got the football with about 8 minutes left on this clock. Gehring out of the shotgun here. Play clock down to 3-2. Gets a snap off. Hands it off. Josiah up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Still on his feet at the 25. And now diving his way to the 20. The ball came out at the last second. And did Hoxie get on top of the football, or did they say that Oberlin was down? And they are going to say Josiah Patton Gall was down from the 31 to the 19-yard line. Man, what a pickup right there of 12 from Josiah on 3rd and 9 for Oberlin after the sack that issued a lot of momentum back to Hoxie. But Oberlin gets it all right back. 3:12 to go in the first half. Oberlin in front, 6-0. Gehring out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side. Over to the far side. Josiah in the backfield, 2. Takes a snap. Brady looking to throw. Over the middle has Gage Willoughby. Pass is out of his hands. Chase Meyer almost came up with an interception. A flag comes in. And Brady rocketed that ball over the middle to Gage, who was wide open at about the 10. But it goes through Gage's hands, and Chase Meyer almost picked it up. But This is a holding called on Oberlin, and that'll move them back 10 yards all the way to the 29-yard line where they'll have first down and 20. So not the way Oberlin wanted to go, that is for sure on that play. As it has been a quick first half, just 7:33 here in Hoxie, and there's 3 minutes to go in the first half. 6-0, Oberlin out in front. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on his right hip. One receiver to the near side is Willoughby. Brady takes a snap, looking to run the option, gets it out to Josiah at the 20, cuts back there, and he slipped again, and that'll move him back farther. So Brady got the pitch off in time, but they say Josiah, when he was looking to make his cut, actually slipped, and his knee went down at the 31. So it's a loss of 1 or 2, they say, on the scoreboard. Actually, it'll be a loss of 2 there for Josiah on his 15th carry already of the game for 65 yards. 2:25 to go in the first half. Oberlin was 2nd and 22 from the Hoxie 31. Gehring out of the shotgun. Josiah on his right hip. One receiver to the near side. Takes a snap. Shuffle pass to Caden Sowers. Up the middle. He's wrapped up and brought down. Hoxie read that play right away. And coming in to get the stop was up front there was Javon Catchell. Man, he came up and just wrapped up Sam right away, as I don't think the blocks were held on that far side of the field. So now Oberlin will have 3rd and 21 after just a pickup of 1 there on the shuffle pass to Caden Sowers. Blake Gehring got to go into maybe the bag of tricks here at 3rd and 21. The sticks sit all the way to the 10-yard line. Gehring out of the shotgun. One receiver to the far side of the field is Sowers. No, 2 to the far side. Takes a snap. Gehring looking to throw. Still looking. Throws it up. Over the middle. Pass caught by Gage Willoughby. No! In and out of his hands at the 16-yard line. He caught the ball, took 2 steps, and then it popped out of his hands on a drop, and it'll force 4th and 21 for the Red Devils from the Hoxie 30-yard line with 1:33 to go before the end of the first half. So first incompletion of the day for Brady Gehring there. And like I mentioned, Gage had it in his hands and took 2 steps right at about the 16. 6-0 Oberlin, 1:33 to go in the first half. Out of the shotgun is Gehring. 2 receivers to the near side, Sowers and Willoughby. Got Patton Gall on his right hip. Gehring takes the snap, dropping back to pass. Now rolling out to the near side. He's swarmed, reverses field. Now running it back up the middle. He's at the 35. Heaves a ball down the near sideline. It'll be incomplete as he was looking for a man down there. Gage Willoughby right at about the goal line. And Oberlin will turn it over on downs. A combination of Josiah slipping in the backfield on that one, as well as the 10-yard holding penalty, force Oberlin to go backwards when they were set up perfect. First down and 10 from the 19. They move backwards basically on that drive, and they're not able to punch it in, and they're going to be thinking about that one going into the break. That is for sure. And now the challenge is on the defense. Short time, 1:22 to go here in the first half. 6-0 Hoxie out in down to Oberlin. 1:22 left. Chase Meyer running the play in. 16 on the play clock as Hoxie breaks the huddle with the ball centered up right in between the hashes as they drive towards the east. Under center is Meyer. Takes the snap, hands it off to Nicholson at the near side. He's at the 35, still on his feet to the 40, and out into Oberlin Red Devil territory to the 39-yard line. What a pickup of 11 right there for Noah Nicholson with a short time, and Lance Barr draws up a perfect play. 1:13 and counting to go. Meyer out of the shotgun, takes a snap, dropping back to pass, looking to throw, steps up, and now he just throws it in the dirt. Intended target on the near side of the field just in front of the 30 was Nicholson, and that will bring up 2nd down. So they tried to pick up a good chunk of yards on first down on their first play of the drive. They did, but now they sit with the football. 2nd down and 10 from the 39 do the Indians with 68 seconds left in the first half. Oberlin chose to receive, so Hoxie, if they punch it in here, they get the ball to start the second half as well. Meyer out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the far side, one of the near, takes a snap, hands it off to Pretz, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, breaks another. He's at the 35 to the 30, still on his feet, 30, 25 to the 20, inside the 20, all the way to the 16-yard line. What a pickup right there of Matt Bretz. Broke 2 tackles in the process, one up front, the other in the back, and now we got a timeout on the field taken by the Hoxie Indians with 59.9 seconds to go. We'll keep it right here. It actually went from the 39 to the 17. What a pickup of 22 by Matt Bretz. And that's what Matt Bretz can do. He's big and physical, spent most of his time on the defensive side, but it did spend a lot of time on the offensive side last year, but wasn't heavily involved in the offense. This year he is, and man, did he come up with a big gain right there on second down as they handed off to him. And like I mentioned, he was met in the backfield right away, slipped that tackle, and then Christian Smith-Titus about 5 yards after that had a chance to wrap him up, and he avoided him and then stiff-armed a man and still drug a defender with him all the way to the 17-yard line where Hoxie sets up shop with 59.9 seconds to go in the first half. 6-0 lead. Oberlin went on a great drive to open the game. They ended in a Josiah Pattengall 5-yard touchdown run. And with each team wanting to run the football, it has been a quick first half. We're sitting just at about 40 minutes total of game time. 59.9 seconds to go in the first half. Meyer out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. 4 down linemen, heavy set to the left. Takes the snap. Meyer looking to throw. Still looking. He's in trouble. Now reverses field. Still looking to go up the middle of the field. He's able to avoid the tackle. Throws it over the middle. Has a man. Nicholson to the 10. To the 5. Slips a tackler and he's into the end zone. What a play by Chase Meyer. Reverse field twice. Found Noah Nicholson wide open at the 10, and he streaks into the end zone for the touchdown from 17 yards out. Chase Meyer probably ran 100 yards on the play, but he shows the fireworks to Noah Nicholson there. And the Red Devils, if they were just able to wrap him up, Nicholson tried to cover to the near side, went up to the far side, then tried going up the middle, finally got back out to the near side, and where he found Nicholson and just threw it over the top of an Oberlin defender. So Hoxie going for the 2-point conversion here to possibly take the lead with 48.9 to go. Meyer takes a snap, looking, throws a pass, batted down. Cohen Anderson got it. Great job by Cohen rushing on the near side. He's able to shove it back in the face of Meyer, but we make it. Hoxie, I should say, makes it a game with a great athletic play by Chase Meyer from 17 yards out. 48.9 to go here in this first half. It's Hoxie and Oberlin knotted up at 6.
At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they believe in the 4 R's. 1, the right kinds of fertilizer and chemical to apply. 2, the right time to apply fertilizer and chemicals. 3, the right amount of fertilizer and chemical to use. And 4, the right place to apply fertilizer and chemical. Stop by Nutrient Ag Solutions and sharpen up your 4 R's before planting season arrives. They will be glad to work the 4 R's into your farming program. That's Nutrient Ag Solutions, just west of Hoxie, where they sell fertilizer, buy, specialize, and service.
The Red Devils play here on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
48.9 seconds to go in this first half. Chase Meyer, a 17-yard touchdown pass to Noah Nicholson, knots us up at 6. This kicks bounce at the 10, picked up by Willoughby off the far side. He's got some running room at the 30, 35-40, 35-30, 25-20. He is gone. See you later, you betcha. Touchdown, Gage Willoughby. His second kick return for a touchdown on the season. My goodness, what a play from Gage Willoughby down the far sideline when the Red Devils just had the life taken out of him. Gage Willoughby instills it right back on the Red Devils sideline with an 60-yard kick return for a touchdown. 12-6 Oberlin with 39.5 seconds to go. My goodness, Gage Willoughby, what a play. His second kick return for a touchdown. He ended the Greeley County game with a kick return for a touchdown from 66 yards. This one coming from approximately 60, maybe a little bit under that. But we got a timeout on the field taken here by Oberlin with 39.5 seconds to go in the first half of play. 12-6, Hoxie and Oberlin duking it out here, and Oberlin getting a big help right there. And Gage picked that ball up off of a bounce on the far side of the field and was just streaking right at about the numbers. And he got to about the 25, maybe the 30, where he looked like he was going to be boggled up, but then he slipped a couple of defenders, and he called house right after that. at least 60, maybe a little bit under 55, over 55-yard kick return for a touchdown. I have to go back, look at the film at halftime to see what it was. 39 and a half seconds to go here in quarter number 2. Oberlin in front 12-6, and just seconds to go before we hit the locker room. So Oberlin trying to come up with a big 2-point conversion. Gage Willoughby with a kick return for a touchdown right after Chase Meyer made one of the most athletic plays I've seen this year. Gehring goes out of the shotgun, one receiver to the near side. Josiah on his near side hip on the right. Takes a snap. The snap is fumbled. Now he's looking, throws out in the flat. Pass caught by Sowers, who is then immediately met by Chase Meyer right at the 5. And Chase read that play the whole way. And so Hoxie keeps Oberlin out of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. But with 39 and a half seconds to go, Gage Willoughby, a kick return for a touchdown to put Oberlin in front 12-6. This is Red Devil football.
Banking should be simple and convenient. With FNB Bank, it is. Whether online, by phone, or with a debit card, accessing your money has never been easier. Imagine managing your finances from the comfort of your home or on the go with just a few taps. FNB Bank in Oberlin, Kansas makes it all possible, ensuring you have control of your banking 24/7. Experience the convenience of modern banking with FNB Bank. Visit fnbbank.com today.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show with head coach Blake Gehring about how Gage Willoughby can just break a big play whenever needed. And this time it wasn't in the receiving game. It's instead in the kick return game, taking a second kick return for a touchdown this year. But Oberlin in front 12-6, 39 and a half seconds to go in the first half. And Willoughby sends an end-over-end boot from the 30, and they'll let that one go into the back of the end zone for a touchback. As maybe a little miscommunication there between Matt Bretz and his back man. And so Oberlin, Hoxie will take over with the football. First down and 10 from the 15-yard line of their own. Got to drive the whole field here if they want to come away with a score right before half. They were able to do it with a little more time on the clock their last drive that ended with an incredible athletic play from Chase Meyer. Reverse field 2 or 3 times, was running around. Looked like the guy that was at the quarterback spot last year, Duncan Bell. That just reminded me so much of a play that he would make. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Meyer out of the shotgun, takes a snap, QB run up the middle at the 20, at the 15, makes it out to about the 18-yard line before he's wrapped up and brought down. 30 seconds and counting to go. And we'll see what Coach Lance Barr wants to do here with minimal time going now. Just a pickup of 2. No, they're going to say 3 officially there for Chase Meyer. And down to 17 seconds. Meyer out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. 3 down. Lineman sends a man in motion left to right. Fakes the jet sweep, rolling out to his right, looking, throws it, pass caught, but then wrapped up by Caden Sowers and thrown over his hip right there to the 20, and that will take us down, and the quarter will end. So coming up with the catch right there was Griffin Czar out to about the 21, pickup of 3 on that final play of the quarter. But the first half is in the books. Oberlin getting a big play right at the end from none other than Gage Willoughby for a second kick return for a touchdown of the season to put the Red Devils in front 12-6. We'll take a break, come back with our halftime show. Oberlin in front 12-6 here on 101.1 KFNF.
Wolfter Pump and Well Incorporated of Hoxie is your state licensed Kansas Water Well Association member. They can help you with all your water needs. They service and drill stock wells, domestic wells, environmental wells, and irrigation wells. Let them handle all your water maintenance problems, from drilling to water pump installation. They will do it all. Give Wolfter Pump and Well a call today, 785-675-3991, or stop in and visit them on Highway 24 in Hoxie.
Insurance, it seems like you can never have enough, and when it comes to peace of mind, it's good to have the right insurance in place. Frederickson Insurance Agency in Oberlin can help you do just that. Frederickson's can help with supplemental insurance for your home, farm, business, auto, and yes, even your crop. Frederickson's will help you find the best plan from the best companies. Insurance, get the best from Frederickson Insurance Agency next to the Landmark in downtown Oberlin, 785-475-3883.
Transform Transforming your kitchen is a big step. Where do you start? Step into the beautiful showroom at Kitchen Solvers on East B Street in McCook, and they will expertly guide you toward the cabinets, countertops, tile, and flooring that are a reflection of you. Full kitchen remodel or simple upgrade, they can help. Just need material? They'll get it ordered. Need help with install? They can do it. Reach out to Kitchen Solvers and they can get you back into a working kitchen in 5 days. Kitchen Solvers, find what inspires you.
Have you heard these 3 rules of nature? Rule number 1, weather always wins. Rule number 2, sometimes weather plays rough. Drought, freeze, flood, hail, lightning, high winds, they can all ruin your crop and your livelihood. And rule number 3, multi-peril and crop hail insurance from Watkins Insurance in Hoxie. Visit Dan and Steve at Watkins Insurance soon. They can show you a multi-peril crop insurance plan that puts you and nature on a level playing field. That's right, individual protection plans from Watkins, such as RP and YP. Watkins Insurance, an equal opportunity provider.
Think cybersecurity is only for big corporations? Think again. Small and mid-sized businesses in Kansas are prime targets for data breaches and phishing scams. Don't wait until a breach happens. Be proactive. Identify vulnerabilities today. Call Nextech at 800-588-6649 or visit next-tech.com/cybersecure for a network assessment. Nextech, local, trusted, reliable.
Whether it's plants, animals, or us humans, we are all affected by what we eat, and it starts in our soil. Nutrient Ag Solutions has worked hard to find solutions for causes, not just symptoms, that strengthen soil, plant, and animal health, therefore increasing the efficiency and profitability on your farm. Nutrien will work to create a balanced approach for your soil, in turn boosting productivity in your crops. Healthier plants carry enhanced nutritional value for your crops and livestock. Call Nutrien Ag Solutions today to get started.
Oh, it's here! Football season! Ray's Grocery of Oberlin is excited too! Ray's Grocery knows you like football, but also everything that comes with it. Oh yeah, tailgating! Come into Ray's and get set up with all your supplies for a festive tailgate party. Delicious hamburgers, juicy steaks, all the produce you can handle, favorite drinks. It's all ready for you at Ray's Grocery. So get your tailgate on now. Shop stress-free with quality this football season at Ray's Grocery, downtown Oberlin.
The Red Devils play here on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Welcome back here from Hoxie and Hoxie High School, just to the east of Hoxie High School, I should say, out on the football field with a newly renovated track around it. Beautiful night for football. That wind, it has been kicking our butts, though, as it's coming in from the south, and where we sit here on the north side, it has been just blowing right in our faces the whole night, and it's going to continue to blow all the way through the night. Might even pick up. It's still at about 21 miles an hour, but it's been gusting a lot more than it did at the beginning of the game, that's for sure, as those flags that sit just behind the scoreboard in the west end zone are practically straight out, and they don't really, go down at all as they sit at half-mast out there. But, man, what a first half we have had. Each team doing what they want to do, and that is run the ball, which means we're seeing a quick first half. Game started at 7, and we're at halftime at 7:51, or starting our halftime report at 7:51 here. So at about 7:45 or so is when the teams went into the locker room, which is crazy, a 45-minute first half. But when each team wants to run the football, that's what you get, and each team has done that so far. But it has been Oberlin on top right now, 12-6, getting a big play out of none other than Gage Willoughby, his second kick return for a touchdown on the season to put the Red Devils in front with a narrow 12-6 lead at the break. Take you through your scoring summary. It was Oberlin getting on the board first right away. Methodical drive down the field. Took about just a little under 4 minutes off the clock when they did it, and it was a heavy dose of Josiah Pattengall as he ended off the drive with a 5-yard touchdown run. Red Devils couldn't get into the end zone to the 2-point conversion and would lead 6-0. But from there, we didn't see any scoring throughout the rest of the first quarter and all the way up till 48.9 seconds to go in the second quarter when Chase Meyer would make probably what I would nominate as the best play we might see all year. I know we've seen some good from the Red Devils, but just the fact that he was able to do everything he did. Chase was in the backfield, looked like he was going to get sacked, take it to the near side, reversed his field back to the far side, came back towards the middle, went back to the near side, and finally threw a strike to Noah Nicholson over the top of an Oberlin defender for a 17-yard touchdown pass, a two-point conversion run. A two-point conversion pass would be no good, I should say, and Oberlin and Hoxie would be knotted up at 6. And I think a lot of people thought that's what it would be at the break, but instead Gage Willoughby says no way, and he ends the first half with a kick return for a touchdown with 39 and a half seconds to go, and Oberlin would take a 12-6 lead here for the Red Devils. So Oberlin, I'm sure at halftime saying, hey, thanks, Gage. We need to work on it a little bit better, moving the ball a little bit. Oberlin has moved the ball fairly well so far in this first half, and I kind of mentioned it when we went to break there. It'd be interesting to see the time of possession. I know Hoxie's had a couple good drives, but I felt like they've been a little bit quicker in that instance. But Oberlin's had the ball for a while, running it very well. I mean, not getting big chunks of yards, but when they do, it's come big on big third, fourth downs. But they shot themselves in the foot here in the red zone on kind of one of those final drives before the half. Haven't turned the ball over yet, but had a couple of penalties not go their way either. So certainly been one of those things here tonight that Oberlin just got to clean up a couple things here at the break and, make their offense flow a little bit better. We'll see what Blake Gehring wants to do. But defensively, they've done pretty well, but Hoxie and Coach Lance Barr has been doing this for 17 years. He kind of knows, hey, okay, we're not doing good in this one thing. Let me switch it up and go here. And it's worked for him a couple of times. They got a big drive there towards the end of the half to go down and score, but had even a drive before that got all the way to the Oberlin 19. A couple of plays stuck him behind the sticks, and they finally turned it over on down. So it's kind of been a couple of what-if scenarios for each team so far. I think we could definitely have seen a lot of scoring as each team has kind of gotten the red area, had a couple of negative plays that have forced them backwards, so have to clean those up as we make our way into half number 2. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll give you your first half numbers here from Hoxie, where the Red Devils lead at halftime 12-6. This is Red Devil football.
There is a difference between going to the bank and going to the bank. When you go to the bank, it's just,
hello, welcome to the bank. How can we bore you?
But when you go to the bank,
hi, welcome to the bank. How can we help you?
And that help is offered to you in 13 northern Kansas locations to help your financial goals become a reality. From services and loans to state-of-the-art financial products, come to where the difference is better. The Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The sun is what everyone wants, and Ward Drug in Oberlin hopes you'll have safe fun in the sun this summer. Ward Drug reminds you that sunscreen is beneficial protection from those powerful rays of the sun. And if you get bugged by insects with bites, Ward Drug has you covered to soothe the itch and irritation. Got allergies from about anything these days? Ward Drug has you covered there too. You can always talk with a pharmacist to help you choose the best products for your individual needs. Ward Drug in downtown Oberlin, where they've got you covered for fun all summer long.
How do you choose the right financial partner? At United Northwest Federal Credit Union, they've been serving the communities of Norton, Decatur, and Rollins counties for 75 years, offering top quality services and products. From loans to the Easy Saver accounts and online banking, they're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Experience the trust and reliability of a community-focused credit union. Visit unwfcu.org to join today. United Northwest Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner, NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Are you ready to take the next step in your career? My name is Cody Holzmeister and I work at Western Plains Energy in Oakley, Kansas. We're looking for motivated individuals who are ready to work hard, grow professionally, and be part of a team that values integrity, reliability, and respect. Whether you're experienced or just starting out, we have opportunities available in our maintenance, operations, and materials departments. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and a supportive work environment. Apply today and join the workplace where your contributions truly matter. Stop by our office or visit WPELLC.com to learn more. That's Western Plains Energy, where your future begins.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Halftime report continues here on today's Best Country 101.1 KFNF. 12-6, Oberlin here at the break, using a late kick return for a touchdown from Gage Willoughby from just inside 55, or just over 55 yards, I should say, for a kick return for a touchdown there for Gage, and puts the Red Devils in front 12-6. Let's give you your first half numbers. We'll start with the Hoxie Indians here tonight. Noah Nicholson, 4 carries for 28 yards. Matt Bretz, 5 carries for 23 yards. His 22-yard gain, the longest for him on the night, was probably the best-looking run out of either team, as he broke quite a few tackles on the way. Chase Meyer, tonight, 6 carries for 13 yards. Chase Meyer throwing the football, 5 of 7 for 46 yards and a touchdown pass. Griffin Czar, 3 receptions for 10 yards. Noah Nicholson, 1 reception for 17 yards and a touchdown. Matt Bretz, 1 reception for 19 yards on the night. Oberlin individually, Josiah Pattengall, 15 carries for 65 yards and a score. Brady Gehring, 2 carries for -6 yards. He lost 8 on that sack towards the tail end of the first half. Caden Sowers, 3 carries for 23 yards. Brady Gehring throwing the football, 5 of 7 for 32 yards. Started out 5 for 5, but has missed his last 2 passes. Gage Willoughby, 4 receptions for 31 yards. Caden Sowers, 1 reception for 1 yard so far in the contest. Between each team so far, Hoxie 64 yards on the ground, 46 through the air for a total of 110. Oberlin 82 on the ground, 32 through the air for a total of 114. Neither team has turned the football over. Oberlin does have the penalty advantage, though, which they don't want to have. They have 3 penalties for 30 yards. Hoxie 1 for 10. So those are the stats here at the break. Once again, the only touchdown for Hoxie coming on the TD pass from Meyer to Nicholson. Oberlin scored on a Pattengall run and the Gage Willoughby kick return for a touchdown. We'll take another quick break as each team has ran back out onto the field. Hoxie on this north side of the field going through some calisthenics. Oberlin on the south side doing the same. Take one more final break, come back, and have second half action here from Hoxie.
Major Oil in Hoxie will deliver bulk fuel right to your door or farm. Farm diesel, highway diesel, gas or propane. Also oils from quarts to totes up to 275 gallon. Major Oil has been servicing Northwest Kansas for over 40 years. Give them a call today at 785-675-3903. That's 785-675-3903. Or stop by Major Oil in downtown Hoxie. You'll be glad you did.
The Red Devils play here on today's Best Country 101.1 KFNF.
12-6, Oberlin out in front here at the break, which is something, if you're a Red Devil fan, that for sure you haven't really heard of a lot when Oberlin has met up with Hoxie. And I didn't want to mention this early because I didn't want the announcers jinx to come in, but Oberlin since 2000 is just 5-15 against Hoxie, but the Indians have really dominated over the last decade. They have won 9 straight games against Oberlin. Oberlin's last win came in 2016 when they won 36-28. Since 2016, Oberlin has just scored 58 points overall against the Indians. They have been shut out 5 times in this losing streak. Their highest point total is 20. They did that twice in 2019 and 2021. Hoxie, on the other hand, has averaged 47 points per game in this 9-game winning streak. Oberlin's just 6.2. So it's certainly been dominated by Hoxie here down over the last decade or so, but Oberlin at the break has got things going their way, 12-6, using the athleticism of Gage Willoughby to their advantage with the kick return for a touchdown. That's the difference maker so far, and like I mentioned here at the break, really would love to see the time of possession and how close it is, because the yardage is very close, and I feel like Hoxie's drives have went quicker than Oberlin's, and Oberlin has had the ball a little bit longer, but that one drive where Oberlin got backed up behind the sticks, that certainly took a lot of time off the clock as well. But it's going to be an interesting second half here from Hoxie. See what the Indians change, making their way into the second half. See what Oberlin wants to change, because the offense was able to move the ball. It was just a couple of penalties down the stretch that forced them backwards there. Probably would have scored when they got it into that red zone there. So Oberlin moving the ball well deep defensively, the athleticism of Hoxie has caused some problems for Oberlin because, like I mentioned, Hoxie more this year than in years past where they kind of methodically drive the ball down the field. They're looking a little bit more for a big play with their athletic guys at the skill spots, and they've got a few of those big plays but haven't really hit on one for a touchdown other than that play from Chase Meyer, which Gage Willoughby did a great job scoring right after that because you could feel a lot of that momentum came over the Hoxie sideline. So we're just about set and ready to go for second half action. The Hoxie Indians huddled up, talking with one of their assistant coaches, Lance Barr, prowling around the sideline. Blake Guerin talking with his guys over on the far sideline. Buckle your seatbelt, folks. I know it's not a shootout, but it is going to be a wild ride to the finish here between these two former Northwest Kansas League rivals, now district rivals, and we'll see if it'll stay that way with the new district alignments coming for next season, and with everything, enrollments being all weird across the state, we'll see if it stays that way. But remember, to start the game, Oberlin won the toss and chose to receive. So they're going to kick off. The defense will go on the field, and Hoxie, even though they allowed that big kick return for a touchdown there from Gage Willoughby, it's got to be thinking, hey, we're still in this thing because we can go down and score and tie it right up, maybe even take the lead if we're able to run it all the way down and get it in. Like I mentioned, it was 84 degrees at kickoff. Right now, 80 degrees, but that wind is making it feel a little bit cooler as well. South wind coming at about 22, and I think it's only going to grow throughout the second half of football. All right, we are just about set and ready to go here from Hoxie for second half action. Gage Willoughby has it teed up. Matt Bretz back deep to receive. Here's the kick. It'll bounce at the 20, be picked up on the far side of the field at the 10, racing it up the middle of the football field, and being wrapped up and brought down is an Indian. Theo Butterfield comes in for the wrap-up, and on the return for Hoxie there was Porter Meyer. And he gets him out to about the 19-yard line, and that's where Hoxie will take over with the football, first down and 10 from their own 19-yard line. And like I mentioned, this is a big drive for the Oberlin defense and the Hoxie offense, which the first drive of the game went nowhere but backwards, but has really settled in since then. Went on a scoring drive, a long drive before that they turned over on downs. Meyer out of the shotgun. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far side. Three down lineman takes a snap. Meyer looking, throws it out into the flat, and Matt Bretz drops it. The pass was just led to him a little bit too far out in front, just in front of the 20-yard line. Is kind of right at the line of scrimmage where he was going to try to make that catch there, but the pass just a little too far out in front. And so it forces second down and 10. Chase Meyer with the incompletion, looking for Matt Bretz on the swing pass out of the backfield. 11:52 to go in the third quarter. Play clock down at 19 as Hoxie breaks the huddle. Meyer out of the shotgun here. Man on his hip to the right is Matt Bretz. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far. High snap. Now it's QB run off the right side. Meyer juking a fender, gets out across the 20 before he'll finally be wrapped up and brought down. Caden Sowers was holding on to him for the last 2 or 3 yards before he's finally able to grab his arm and spit him down for the short gain and forces Hoxie into a third down right away to open up this second half. It's third down and 5, and that south 22-mile-an-hour wind is coming in hard here as we make our way into the second half. More so than it was in the first half. And like I mentioned, it's a lot more gusty, but it's a constant 22-mile-an-hour wind than the one we were dealing with in the first half. Meyer here on 3rd and 5 leads his men up from his own 23. Out of the shotgun, 3 receivers and a bunch set to the far side. One to the near side. Takes the snap. Meyer immediately flushed. Now he throws and the pass is in and out of the hands of Griffin Czar at the 30. They dialed up the play they wanted as Oberlin was bringing the all-out blitz. Theo Butterfield and Josiah Pattengall almost had Meyer wrapped up for a sack. He was able to get the heave off, and Griffin Czar just had to go in and out of his hands at the 30. So great job by the Red Devil D as Oberlin took the ball to start the game, knew they'd have to come up with a big stop to open the second half, and they get it as Hoxie goes into punt formation. Matt Bretz will punt this one away. Caden Sowers to return. Sowers pushed back all the way to the 15 on the near side of the field. Now he's looking to juke one man, gets back up the field to 25, still on his feet. He's wrapped up, the ball popped out, and I think Oberlin was able to get back up on top of it, and they did, as it looked like the ball popped out, but I think Caden was actually able to get down, and it'll bring up first down and 10. Nice little return there for Caden. Is able to avoid a couple of Hoxie defenders that met him right away, and Oberlin will have first down and 10 from just across the 15 or just across the 25, I should say, at about the 27, 28-yard line. So Oberlin sends Hoxie 3 and out to open the second half and see what the Red Devil O wants to do after the Red Devil D performed very well. Gehring out of the shotgun, Patton Gall on his right hip. Gehring takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah cutting back up the middle, now going off the right side before he's wrapped up and brought down just across the line of scrimmage. And great job right there. Coming in with the tackle is Griffin Czar on that far side of the line to bring second down and 9 here for Oberlin as they make it out to about the 30-yard line after the pickup of 2 there from Josiah Patton. Like I said, started out the game with big chunks of yards, but it's just been little chunks since then. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on the left hip this time. One receiver to the near side. Willoughby takes the snap. Fumble the snap in the backfield. Josiah able to pick it up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and the Red Devils are lucky there, as Josiah kind of took his hands off the exchange to see where his blocks were, and when it did, it hit his hands and just popped right down onto the turf. So a no gain there, and it forces 3rd and 8. In a game where we thought we might see a ton of touchdowns, it's turning into a defensive battle. 12-6 Oberlin, 9:49 and counting to go in the third quarter. Gehring out of the shotgun. Man on his hip to the right is Patton Gall. One receiver out to the near side, Willoughby to the near. Sowers to the far. Gehring takes the snap, dropping back to pass. Pump fakes, looking to throw. Wants the deep ball down the near side. Gage comes back, makes the catch. No, it's in and out of his hands, just in front of the 20 at about the 19-yard line. In coverage with them on the near side. Gage, Epp, and Willoughby came back to the ball after it was underthrown a little bit. Got his hands on it, but I think he might have fell on the ball as he gingerly walks back to the line, and it forces 4th and 8. And decision time here for Blake Gehring, that's for sure. Like I mentioned, Brady Gehring started out 5 for 5, since then 0 for 3 throwing the football. And Oberlin now has it 4th down and 8 from the 30, and Willoughby is going to go back to punt this one away. No one back to receive for Hoxie, and now trotting all the way back there is Noah Nicholson. The snap is rolled to Willoughby, and he's able to get this spinner off that Nicholson will let bounce just in front of the 20 at about the 22 and roll out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. They're going to say at the 21. So each team exchanges punts to start out the second half, and Oberlin back in the same position they were to open up the game, as Hoxie has first down and 10 from the 21-yard line of their own. Working from the near side hash, driving east to west on this east-west facing field in Hoxie with a new renovated track, new lights that are shining bright here as we just tick past 8:10 on your clock. On the game clock, 9:25 to go as Hoxie takes over. I formation set, handoff Nicholson. Left side gets a big block. Out across the 20, still on his feet to the 30, and now carries a defender with him. Brady Gehring, the lone man to wrap him up by the shoelaces as he brings him down to the 35-yard line. What a pickup right there by Noah Nicholson on first down, taking it from the 21 all the way out to the 35. Pickup of 14 yards from Noah Nicholson to start the game. Now 83 yards on the ground from the Indians. 9:06 to go and counting in the third quarter. Under center will be Meyer at the tip of the eye. Nicholson again takes the snap, fakes it, no, hands it off to Matt Bretz. He'll be wrapped up, still spinning his way off of Cohen Anderson before finally forward progress is called, and they'll leave him right at the original line of scrimmage. So Matt Bretz, the fullback in that situation, goes for none. When they go in that I formation set, it's just a little off eye, I should say, as Matt Bretz just split out to either the left or the right, and then Noah Nicholson is at the tip of the eye. And that time they hand it off to Bretz, and he gains just a short, just gets back to the line of scrimmage. So second down and 10 here for Hoxie, working from the middle of the field this time. Two receivers to the near side, nobody to the far. Meyer out of the shotgun. He's got Bretz in the backfield with him. Takes the snap. Meyer looking, throws it over the middle. Pass caught by Zard at the 40. Spins off a defender and makes his way to the 35, moving the sticks as well, and gets into Oberlin Red Devil territory all the way to the 34-yard line. Great pass and throw there from Chase Meyer to Griffin Griffin Czar. Pickup of 16 through the air from Chase Meyer as he had back-to-back incompletions there, but he hits Griffin Czar for a pickup of 16. And Hoxie's in business, first down and 10 this time from the Oberlin 34-yard line with 7:53 to go here in the third quarter of play. Out of the shotgun is Meyer. Nomi goes under center and flips it back to Czar, who's wrapped up in the backfield. The ball pops out. Chase Meyer, who was running in from behind, I think was able to fall on top of it, or somebody did, to avoid a disaster. And Hoxie will keep the football, but it's a major loss on first down as they try to give it off to Griffin Czar in the backfield, and I think he was the one that ended up getting on top of it. Just a loss of one in the end with some, that fumble actually went forward as Czar was wrapped up right away on that far side by Cohen Anderson, who has just been an animal over there. They really tried him out in that Dighton game. He was able to get that fumble recovery for a touchdown, and he has just been an animal ever since, that's for sure. 7:03 to go in the third quarter of play. 2nd and 11. Meyer out of the shotgun. Sends Brett's in motion out of the backfield to the right. Takes the snap. Meyer looking to throw. Pump fakes. Now he brings it down. Flushes it up in the middle of the field, and it was almost picked off, but it'll force third down. Chase Meyer with a dangerous pass there, but he avoids the sack, and Oberlin might have had an argument there for intentional grounding, but there was technically a receiver in the area with his lineman. It would have been an ineligible receiver anyway. But Meyer was able to just heave it off at the last second as the Red Devil defense started to collapse. 3rd and 11 now for the Indians from the Oberlin 26-yard line. Meyer out of the shotgun. Heavy set line, sends Brett's in motion, right to left across the line, takes the snap. Meyer looking to throw. Flush out the pocket. Now he's wrapped up and brought down by you-know-who. Cohen Anderson steps up for the sack. Cohen with a huge one right there. Sack number 2 for him on the year. Another TFL, and it forces Hoxie back across the 40 into their own territory. Man, oh man, what a loss there. From the 36 all the way to the 38-yard line for Hoxie. And now they will have to kick a loss of 6. Brett's with a kick. This is a sky punt. A flag comes in as Theo Butterfield was in the backfield there trying to get the stop, and the punt will be down at the 11. But I have a feeling Hoxie's going to get first down because that flag came in, and no, they're pointing towards Hoxie maybe here. The white hat now turning around towards us, and we will see what this penalty is going to be on as the marker sits right at the line of scrimmage. And holding called on Oberlin on the called on Hoxie, excuse me, and so that'll move them back 10 more yards. So I thought Oberlin, who had a tough time a couple of weeks ago with blocking the kicker there, I thought that's what it might be, but instead it's holding, and so this makes it even longer. They got 4th and 28 on the scoreboard. Bretts will punt this one away, gets a better boot at it this time, and it will take a bounce just across the 20, now to the 10. It's rolling inside the 5, all the way down to the 1, and that's where it'll be touched. Running all the way down there to stop it was Gage Epp, as that ball was oh so close from going into the end zone. Caden Sowers was going to let it. It took a massive bounce from the 20 to the 10, but then it really died there and started rolling kind of end over end, or I should say kind of end over end, and they are going to say it did roll into the end zone for a touchback. So Oberlin gets a break there because they could have it at their own 1-yard line. But Hoxie, second drive of the second half, they punted away. Now with 5:59 to go in the third quarter, Oberlin in front 12-6. They have the football, first down and 10 from the 15-yard line of their own, working from the middle of the field. Sowers directly behind Gehring in the backfield. Pattengall on the left hip. Brady calling out the signals, takes the snap, quick handoff to Caden, coming near side, looking to get to the outside, and he's wrapped up and brought down back of the line of scrimmage. Maybe a half a loss. Yeah, they're going to say a yard loss as Matt Bretz comes in and throws him right down. Actually coming in on the tackle there was Caden Beckman, and it makes 2nd down and 11 for the Red Devils as Caden Sowers has his first negative rush of the day. And the Red Devils, ever since that first drive, they've been able to move the ball via the run, but it's just been short chunks. And Hoxie doing a great job stacking the box and flocking to the ball. Gehring out of the shotgun here. Patton Gall on his left hip sends him in motion left to right across the line is Sowers. Takes the snap, hands it off. Josiah avoids a tackle in the backfield. Now he cuts back up the field to the 20 and gets out across the 20 to about the 22-yard line before he's finally wrapped up and brought down. So a pickup of 8 there for Josiah. Patton Gall forces 3rd and short for the Red Devils. And it makes it about 3rd down and 4 for Oberlin, so just a pickup of 7, I should say, there to the 22-yard line on their side of the 40. Oberlin breaks the huddle with 15 on the play clock. Gehring out of the shotgun. Josiah Patton Gall on his right hip. Caden Sowers in the backfield directly behind him. Gage Willoughby, the receiver, split out to the near side. Takes the snap, hands it off. Caden right side. He's out across the 25. Still on his feet. Breaking tacklers. Gets out across the sticks and almost makes it to the 30-yard line. Caden Sowers again coming up clutch on 3rd down to move the sticks and continue the drive for the Red Devils as they get out to the 28-yard line. So on 3rd and 4, Caden Sowers picks up 6 and makes it out to the 29, I should say. So a pickup of 7 there for Caden as the Red Devils have it 1st down and 10 from their own 29-yard line. 4:10 to go in the 3rd quarter, 12-6 lead for the Red Devils. Gehring out of the shotgun. Josiah Patton Gall on his right hip takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah trying to get the corner, cuts back up the field, still on his feet to the 30 before he'll finally be wrapped up and brought down and making his way to the 35. Gets out to about the 32-yard line. Pickup of a short 3 yards there for Josiah, and Oberlin just kind of loving that short run game today, methodically trying to drive their way down the field and come up with big conversions on 3rd or either 4th down. It's 2nd and 7 now for Oberlin from their own 32. Gehring out of the shotgun. Patton Gall on his right hip. One receiver to the near side is Willoughby. Gehring calls the signals, takes a snap, hands it off. Josiah up the middle, runs right into his lineman, deflects off him, and then runs into a brick wall. Just back to about the original line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a half inch or so there. Yeah, that'll be a no gain for Oberlin. And force 3rd and 7 now for Blake Gehring and his squad. So this will be interesting to see. Do they want to go to the air with Brady Gehring here on 3rd and 7 from their own 32 with 2:58 left in the 3rd quarter? Oberlin clinging to a 6-point lead at 12-6. Gehring out of the shotgun. Man on his hip to the right is Patton Gall. 2 receivers on the line. Takes a snap. Fakes once. Now he was trying to get it off to Gage Willoughby. The ball pops out of his hand, and he was able to fall on top of it. But Brady, I think, was trying to get it back to Gage, who was coming behind him on a pitch. But instead, he kind of just threw it up in the air, and Oberlin's going to be forced to punt after a loss of 2. Not what Oberlin wanted to do on 3rd and 7, and each team in this 3rd quarter has now got 2 punts, and Hoxie will get another chance to tie the game up. And here is the boot. It's a nice boot from Gage Willoughby that'll be taken right to the 20 on the run, but then wrapped up and brought down right away by Josiah Patton Gall is Noah Nicholson. Nicholson caught it on the run to the 20, broke off to the near side, but Josiah Patton Gall was right there to wrap him up and bring him down to the 25. So with 2:13 to go in the 3rd quarter of play, Oberlin gives the ball back to Hoxie in this defensive battle. A game that I thought we could see a ton of points in. Oberlin just has 130 total yards of offense. Hoxie with 138. Oberlin has not made it across the 40, I think, in this second half. 2:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. The snap, Meyer hands it off. Nicholson is able to lower the shoulder, get out through a hole on the far side for a short pickup. As coming in for the tackle there was Caden Sowers and Josiah Patton Gall. And with 1:57 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter, it forces 2nd down and long here for the Indians. 2nd at about 7 after the short pickup of 3 from Noah Nicholson. Chase Meyer out of the shotgun here. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Sends a man in motion right to left. Nicholson fakes the handoff to him. Meyer avoids a defender. Still on his feet as he makes his way out to the 30-yard line. Flags come in, and I think this one is going to be moving backwards with a holding penalty. And we will see here. And yes, it's going to be holding on Hoxie, so that'll move him backwards. They had a holding penalty on the punt last time. And it'll bring up 2nd down. They go from the line of scrimmage, so they negate Chase Meyer's run. Moves them back 10 yards, and it'll force 2nd down and 17 for Hoxie from inside their own 20-yard line at about the 18 is where they now have the football, working from the middle of the field, driving towards the east under a almost full moon here at Hoxie. And not a star in this with the lights. Can't really see the stars, but the moon is shining bright. Meyer out of an empty backfield. 3 receivers bunched up to the far side of the field. Takes a snap. Dropping back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. Avoids the sack. He's still on his feet to the 15, the 20, near side 25 before he's finally shoved out of bounds. And Oberlin, when they recognize that with the empty backfield, they just all come. And Chase Meyer able to make something out of nothing there to get back to where the first down marker was and force 3rd and 10, so Chase Meyer able to use kind of his speed to his advantage and his athleticism to get out of that for a pickup of 7. It forces 3rd and 10 for Hoxie from their own 25 with 1:07 to go. He was shoved out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Meyer running this play in a little bit later here as they break the huddle with about 9 seconds to go on the play clock. Lance Barr staring at it now in the far west end zone. Meyer out of the shotgun. Man on his hip to the left. Takes the snap. QB design run off the left side. He's wrapped up and brought down. Still on his feet. And he'll finally be brought down there as nobody marked him down. He was completely stopped. Oberlin might have a gripe with that with the forward, but instead he was able to spin out of a man that had him grabbed up, and finally Oberlin is able to move him down just at about the 28. So they're going to say 4th down and 5. It's more like 4th and 6 there to pick up a 4 from Chase Meyer. And Matt Bretz will punt this one away under a minute to go with 34 ticks left. Bretz, this is a line drive spinning punt that will bounce in front of the 20, picked up by Sowers off the near side, 25, still on his feet, wrapped up and brought down just in front of the 30 at about the 29-yard line. And that's where Oberlin will take over with the football. Each team playing the field possession game a little bit here, and each defense has continued to step up. Oberlin does again there and forces another punt. That's the 3rd Hoxie punt of the second half. Oberlin has 2. Hoxie's at least been across the 40 once in the second half, while Oberlin has not. 25.9 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Oberlin with the football, 1st down and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Out of the shotgun is Brady Gehring. Got Patton Gall on his right hip, 1 receiver out to either side. Brady takes the snap, looking, throws out in the flat, and the pass is too tall for Gage Willoughby on the near side of the field. And Brady has not hit a receiver since the first half. He's 0 for his last 4 and 5 of 9 of the game with 22.3 seconds to go. 12-6, Hoxie down to the Red Devils of Oberlin. Oberlin trying to break a 9-game losing streak to the Indians and start district play 2-0 and start 4-1 overall on the season. Out of the shotgun is Gehring. He's got Patton Gall on his right hip, 1 receiver to the far side. Gehring with the box stacked, looking, runs the option, gets it out to Josiah, who's out across the 30, still on his feet, 35 to the 40, still going, 35, 30, 25 to the 20 before he's wrapped up and brought down from behind, but a flag marker has come in at about the 35-yard line. They mark him down inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. And so I think this one is going to come back, though. The option play worked there, but holding going to be called on the Red Devils. And we'll see. It's going to go from the spot of the foul, which is at the 35 of Hoxie. Or it should here. We'll see where it's going to go as they picked up the flag. And they're, yeah, okay, so from the 35. So it was a... pickup of 16 there, unofficially, for Josiah, but a 10-yard penalty forces him back off of that. Oberlin now has it 2nd and 4 from the 36, and we got a timeout on the end of the quarter has happened. So that'll take us to the end of the quarter. Apologies about that. And Oberlin still holds a 12-6 lead in this defensive battle between Oberlin and Hoxie. Stick around for quarter 3 here on 101.1 KFNF.
Ever wonder why some people have a spring in their step? It's simple. Fuel. Quality fuel from Decatur Co-op. Without the right fuel, your day can feel like a drag. But with Decatur Co-op's premium Fieldmaster diesel or unleaded fuel delivered straight to you, those days of sluggish starts are over. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, they keep you moving. Check out their bulk fuel delivery today. Premium fuel and service you deserve at Decatur Co-op with a location near you.
Decatur County Beef in Oberlin, Kansas wants to do business with the local farmers. They need high moisture corn, silage, and hay now, and dry corn now through October. Decatur County Beef offers very competitive prices, always looking for good help. Give Decatur County Beef a call. You'll be glad you did. That's Decatur County Beef, just north of Oberlin on Highway 83.
Start of quarter number 4 here from Hoxie, where the Red Devils lead 12-6 in a defensive battle. A game that I think many thought was going to be high scoring has turned into a defensive battle. Gehring out of the shotgun on 2nd and 4 for the Red Devils from their own 36. Handoff. Pattengall met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down. He avoided a tackle in the backfield. Noah Nicholson the first to get to him, and then a gang of tacklers behind him. Matt Brett slow to get up on the play for Hoxie, but the tough kid's going to be able to get up, and he walks it off, limping a little bit. 11:40 and counted to go in the fourth quarter. Oberlin clinging to a 12-6 lead. Just a narrow pickup of 1 yard there for Josiah Pattengall. 22 carries for him for 9.94 yards. That's just an average of 4.3 each carry for him. It's been a tough sledding for Joe, but he's done some damage. Oberlin got forced backwards after a big play from Josiah Pattengall, and Hoxie is going to call a timeout here. And that'll be interesting because Hoxie, down in the game, would definitely want those down the stretch, but they lose a timeout there. So Hoxie with 2, Oberlin with 3. We'll take a timeout as well. 12-6, Oberlin in front in quarter 4 here on KFNF.
The First State Bank of Hoxie is ready, willing, and able to serve all your banking needs. Whether it's a checking or savings account, CDs, personal or farm loans, First State Bank of Hoxie can be your bank. They are large enough to serve you, but small enough to know you. And First State Bank of Hoxie is a proud supporter of the Hoxie Indians. Go fight, win with First State Bank of Hoxie. Member FDIC.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Welcome back here from Hoxie. 11:19 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Oberlin in front, 12-6 over the Hoxie Indians. Oberlin trying to start 2-0 in district play and beat Hoxie for the first time in nearly a decade. And they've got a 6-point advantage to do it, and 11:19 to go. Gehring out of the shotgun on 3rd and 3 from their own 37. Pattengall on his left hip takes the snap, hands it off. Josiah gets the corner at the 35, still on his feet to the 40 before he's ushered out of bounds, moving the sticks and getting into Hoxie territory for the first time of the second half. So Oberlin, after the holding penalty, is able to still get it across the sticks and pick up a first down, taking it to the Hoxie 38-yard line. So Josiah Pattengall does his job there, gets the corner, the blocks hold up, pick up a 5 there for Josiah, who, like I mentioned, is slowly working his way to 100 yards. Gehring out of the shotgun again. Pattengall on his right hip. One receiver to the near side. Takes the snap. Quickly hands it off to Josiah. Breaks a defender. Still on his feet to the 35 to the 30. Takes his way inside the 30. Nearing the 25 before he's finally wrapped up and brought down in the middle of the field. Josiah Pattengall, weaving his way between defenders, is able to pick up the first down. And more for the Red Devils as he takes it just in front of the 25 to about the 27. That's an 11-yard gain for Josiah. He's now over 100 yards on the night at 110. 10:56 2:26 to go in the fourth quarter. Oberlin with the football. First down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Out of the shotgun here is Brady Gehring. Got a man on his hip. Josiah Pattengall takes the snap, looking to run the option. He takes it up the middle, hit right at the line of scrimmage, bounced off that hit, and falls forward to about the 25, inside the 25, before it will be wrapped up and brought down there. And just a short gain, 2nd and 8 now for Oberlin after Brady Gehring keeps it on the option. 10:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Oberlin was in this position late in half number 1, but a penalty and a sack forced them backwards, and they came up empty-handed there. Oberlin trying to stay clean this possession as Brady Gehring goes out of the shotgun again. Josiah Pattengall on his left hip. Sin Sowers in motion left to right. Takes the snap, hands it off. Josiah cuts back up the middle and has his feet taken out from underneath him. And it'll force 3rd and long for the Red Devils in front of the 20-yard line here, as they get now inside the 25 to about the 23. So just a short gain again for the Red Devils. And Hoxie, whenever they allow a big run or a couple in a row, they really track it down tonight and have just been forcing Oberlin kind of one-dimensional even with the run. 3rd and 6 here for Oberlin from the 23-yard line. Gehring out of the shotgun. Sowers directly behind him. Has got Pattengall on his left hip, one receiver to the near side. Gehring takes the snap, hands it off. Sowers looking to get the edge. He's at the 25, gets to the 20, still on his feet, trucks the defender, lowers his shoulder, and gets out across the sticks. Maybe they might have him a half-yard short. No, the official on that far side did signal to move the sticks. He needed 6, and did he get all of it? Yes, he did. He got 6 and about 7, actually. And Caden Sowers again on 3rd or 4th down there. I should say all night on 3rd or 4th down, they have handed off to him and said, get us the first down any way you can, and he's done it again. 9:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Clock stopped as Caden went out of bounds. 12-6 Oberlin driving towards the west. They have the ball at the Hoxie 16-yard line. Gehring out of the shotgun. Willoughby on the near side as the receiver. Takes a snap, hands it off Josiah. Up the middle, breaks a defender. He's at the 10 to the 5. He's into the end zone for the Oberlin touchdown to extend the lead. 18-6, Oberlin goes in front with 9:15 to go in the fourth quarter on a Josiah Pattengall 16-yard touchdown run. So you knew Joe was going to break a long one. I don't know if that's what he was expecting for a long one, but Oberlin will take it as they add their lead and score their first points of the second half. Gehring out of the shotgun. Sowers directly behind him. Man on his hip. Takes the snap. Fakes once. Now it's a pitch out to Sowers, who's caught it. Trying to get to the edge at the 5, and he's not going to be able to. And the 2-point conversion will be no good. A lot of extracurriculars there, but they finally able to bring him down. They blow the play dead. So Oberlin kept out of the end zone on the 2-point conversion, but they extend their lead to make it 18-6 here in quarter number 4. We'll take a break. Come back. 18-6, Oberlin in front in the fourth quarter over the Hoxie Indians.
Chronic pain is a common condition with many possible treatment options that may include joint injections, nerve blocks, physical therapy, or radiofrequency ablation, depending on a provider's recommendation. Decatur Health shares this information to support community health education and awareness. By working together with specialists and primary care providers, Decatur Health helps patients and families understand available approaches to chronic pain. Learn more about chronic pain options at decaturhealth.org.
The Red Devils play here on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Welcome back here from Hoxie, where the Red Devils are in front 18-6 thanks to a Josiah Pattengall 16-yard touchdown run. They needed to find a way to extend the lead, and they did just that. They score That's the first score between any team in the second half. Oberlin, their first trip across the 40 into Hoxie territory in the second half. They cash it in for a touchdown. That was a clean drive. Oberlin only had one penalty that really affected them. Here's the kick. It's an end over end boot that will die just in front of the 10. Picked up by Porter Meyer, still on his feet as he's juking defenders. Makes his way out of the 15, still on his feet to the 20, and he'll finally be wrapped up and thrown down there on the far side of the field. And man, he danced around, did Porter Meyer there, but finally is able to be brought down by the Oberlin Red Devil kick return team. 9:07 to go in the fourth quarter. Hoxie will take over the football. Some of their best field position here in a little bit. First down and 10 from the 21. I should say some of their worst field position in a little bit, as Oberlin had punted their first two possessions there of the second half. They finally score on their third. Hoxie has punted all three possessions. Meyer out of the shotgun. Two receivers bunched on the line to the right. Sends a man in motion right to left. Takes a snap. It's a handoff here to Nicholson. Nicholson cuts back. He's still on his feet. Breaking a big run to the 35 to the 40. Inside the 35, almost to the 30-yard line. No excuse. Yes, that is Noah Nicholson taking it inside the 35, deep into Oberlin Red Devil territory on the first play from scrimmage of the possession. And Noah Nicholson on the jet sweep is able to pick up a bunch of yards there for the Hoxie Indians, as they run a little bit of hurry up here. Pickup of 26 there for Noah Nicholson. His longest rush of the night and the longest rush for any Hoxie Indian. Meyer out of the shotgun. Sends Nicholson in motion left to right across the line. Meyer takes the snap. He's flushed out of the pocket, rushing the near side. Avoids the snag. Still looking to throw. Now he's able to be wrestled down. The helmet of Rustin Bailey comes off as he wrestles him down from behind. And I think Rustin is going to have to come out of the game there. That's going to be huge. And Chase Meyer again with the Red Devils in the backfield is able to avoid a sack as he picks up quite a few yards there. Force about second down and 5 is what they're going to say. And Chase Meyer with his legs has extended a lot of plays as Hoxie has it 2nd and 5 from the Oberlin 28-yard line here with 8:03 to go in quarter number 4. Meyer takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Bretz, who cuts back up the middle, nearing the sticks. He'll be about a half-yard short. Needed 5, picked up 4. 7:50 left in quarter number 4. Oberlin clinging to a 12-point lead, and Matt Bretz is able to pick up about 4 yards there to force 3rd and 1. Big play coming here. Can the Red Devils get in the backfield and maybe stop a run, or what will Lance Barr do on 3rd and 1 from the Oberlin 24? Meyer, QB direct snap up to him. He's got the first down. Spins off a defender, still on his feet to the 20 before he's wrapped up and brought down there by Cohen Anderson and Christian Smith-Titus. And that was a big run there from Chase Meyer again. Pickup of 4 out to the 20-yard line. And Hoxie continues to move. They use the big play to their advantage. Now methodically trying to punch it into the end zone as they start here in the red zone with a first down and 10 from the 20-yard line of the Red Devils. Meyer out of the shotgun. He's got Nicholson on his right hip. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Noah Nicholson. Looking to throw. Has a man out in the flat. Pass caught by Czar at the 10, and it'll be wrapped up and brought down across the sticks maybe here, or just inside the 10-yard line. Yeah, they're going to put him down to the 9. Pickup of 11 through the air as Griffin Czar slips 3 on the throw out into the flat, and it forces 1st and goal for the Indians from the 9-yard line. Haven't taken a ton of time off the clock as the clock continues to tick here. 6:55 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Meyer out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side, one to the far. Meyer, QB run up the middle of the field. He gets across the 9 to the 8-7 before he's finally wrapped up and brought down with just a short gain to maybe the 7, almost the 6-yard line. And it was 6:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Oberlin in front by 12, 18-6. So Hoxie would need this score and another. A Hoxie 2-point conversion would put him in the driver's seat to take the lead. They break the huddle here. Pickup of 4 there from Chase Meyer on the QB design run right up the middle. He's out of the shotgun again. Receiver out to either side. Takes a snap, dropping back to pass. Looking to throw. He avoids a sack from Caden Sowers. Reverses field to the far side. Still on his feet. Gets inside the 5. Diving for the pylon. Is he going to get in? No, they're going to mark him just a little bit short. My goodness. He almost had himself a touchdown. Chase Meyer was dead to rights from Caden Sowers, but shook that off and reverse field around the far side and picks up a hard-earned couple of yards there. As pickup of 5 or so there, I think, from Chase Myers. Makes it 3rd down and goal from the 2. Meyer out of the shotgun again. Nicholson on his right hip, takes a snap, QB run. Up the middle, he's wrapped up and brought down. Did not get there, got back to the original line of scrimmage, and this is the biggest 4th and goal play Oberlin is going to have all year so far. 5:23 to go in the 4th quarter. Oberlin leading 18-6, trying to break a 9-year losing streak to the Hoxie Indians. The Indian faithful to their feet. Oberlin Red Devil faithful to their feet. And the game coming down to this, you got to think. Hoxie with 2 timeouts left so they can stop the clock for a little bit. But the clock continues to tick. Now under 5 minutes to go. Play clock down to 7 as Meyer breaks the huddle. He'll go under center. Offset eye. Nicholson at the tip of the eye. Looking. Pitches it out. Nicholson around the far side. He streaks into the end zone for the touchdown. And then he's wrapped up from behind on the horse collar by Christian Smith-Titus. Flags come in all over. Christian trying to do anything to prevent that touchdown, and he wraps him up from behind by the jersey and throws him backwards when he was into the end zone. So it's a 2-yard touchdown run no matter what from Noah Nicholson here. Some other flags came in as well, and all 3 officials have met, and they're talking things over here on the near side. Now they're going to go talk with Coach Barr and see what he wants to do, if he wants to enforce it on the kickoff, I would think, or on the 2-point try. So a personal foul, horse collar on Oberlin, and they're going to force it on the kickoff is where they're going to take that penalty. So we'll see how much it's going to be. That might be a 15-yarder with it being a personal foul, and it is. So Noah Nicholson gets into the end zone with a 2-yard touchdown run and makes it 18-12. Hoxie has now cut the lead back down to 6 after Oberlin extended it out to 12. Meyer breaks the huddle here out of the shotgun. Biggest 2-point conversion. Takes the snap. QB design run off the right side. Gets to the the goal line, but then it's forced backwards, and they're not going to get in for the 2-point conversion. Big stop for the Red Devils there. Theo Butterfield, Josiah Pattengall come up with it, and the Red Devils keep Hoxie out of the end zone of the 2-point conversion, but Noah Nicholson makes it a 6-point game at 18-12 with 4:49 to go. It's going to be a wild ride to the finish right here on KFNF. 18-12, Oberlin in front.
Major Oil and Hoxie will deliver bulk fuel right to your door or farm. Farm diesel, highway diesel, gas or propane. Also oils from quarts to totes up to 275 gallon. Major Oil has been servicing Northwest Kansas for over 40 years. Give them a call today at 785-675-3903. That's 785-675-3903. Or stop by Major Oil in downtown Hoxie. You'll be glad you did.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
Welcome back here from Hoxie. Noah Nicholson's 2-yard touchdown run set up by a big run from him, from Nicholson, that took it deep into Red Devil territory. Then they methodically kind of drove their way into the end zone. It was on 4th and goal from the 2 that Nicholson put that in. And Hoxie, Oberlin grabbed Nicholson's they got a horse collar, and so they'll kick this off, and Oberlin will be forced to, and now hold on here. Are they going to take the yardage on the kickoff? Yes, they are. Okay. I was going to say, is it going to be on the kick return that they're going to use that, or on the kickoff? And so that's going to move them up at least 15 yards here, and Matt Bretz will be able to kick this one away from the 35, maybe? Or so here. It was a personal foul, horse collar. Christian Smith-Titus wrapped up Noah Nicholson with the horse collar from behind in the end zone, so the flags came in for the personal foul. And yes, so Nicholson will tee it up at Oberlin's 35-yard line, and we'll see what the strategy is here. You boot this through the end zone, put Oberlin at the 15? Most likely you do. Hoxie has 2 timeouts, 4:49 to go. And the kick, no, Matt Bretz goes with the onside, and Oberlin will just fall right on top of it in front of the 20. And now a flag comes in from behind from the white hat. And did this go the designated 10 yards? It did. Was there someone on? This is going to be interesting who this call is going to be on. And a flag, the white hat has picked up his flag now and is carrying it around. And, yeah, it looks like maybe there's some perspiration on the ball or something, as one of the Hoxie assistants has ran out there, and now they've wiped the ball off. And so they're going to let him re-tee it here. Oh, no, a false start called on a Hoxie. So offsides on the kickoff, and that'll move the kickoff back to the 40. So how about that? A penalty on Oberlin moved it up to the 35. A penalty on Hoxie moves it back to the 40, 10 yards up from where it originally is. So Bretz will boot it away from the 40. Back deep to receive for the Red Devils there is Brady Gearing, I think. And this is another little squib kick up the middle, and I don't think it went the 10 yards. No, it didn't. Flags come in from either side. He would have needed to get it to the 30, and he didn't. And so Oberlin is going to get the football first down and 10 here. And so it did not meet the 10-yard. They're going to pick it up. Oberlin will just take it from where it is instead of taking the yardage, because it did not meet the 10-yard minimum requirement to get out to the 30, but Oberlin will take the field position as they have it first down and 10 from the 33-yard line of their own. Hoxie has 2 timeouts. Oberlin most certainly going to try to keep the ball on the ground here. They've rushed for 158 total yards on the game. Gearing out of the shotgun. He's got Pattengall on his left hip. One receiver to the near side of Willoughby. Takes a snap. Hands it off. Josiah up the middle. Following blocker still on his feet. Out across the 40 to the sticks. Almost there. He might have picked up all 10. My goodness, what a pickup right there by Josiah Pattengall with 4:41 to go. And did Coach Barr call a timeout? And they're going to mark it. Why are they marking this ball? They're going to say, yeah, okay, they do move the sticks. And so it's a 10-yard pickup there for Josiah Pattengall. Now has 27 carries unofficially for 138 yards. 4:33 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. Oberlin now with the football from the Hoxie 37-yard line. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Oberlin clinging to a 6-point lead, 18-12 here in the fourth quarter. Out of the shotgun, Gearing got a man on his hip. Pattengall again. Most certainly going to try to give it to him, and they do. Handoff Pattengall up the middle, gets out across the 35 with a lunge of the body to about the 34. Short gain of 3 forces 2nd and 7 as the clock will tick under 4 minutes here. Like I mentioned, Hoxie has 2 timeouts, and we'll see how far Coach Barr wants this clock to go down, see if his team can maybe get a stop. 2nd and 7, 3:52 left in the fourth quarter. Oberlin in front, 18-12. Have not beat Hoxie in 9 years, and trying to pull it off here. Out of the shotgun is Brady Gearing. Got Pattengall on his right hip this time. Brady barking out the signals, takes a snap, hands it off to Josiah, trying to get the corner. He gets to the 35 to the 30, still on his feet, wrapped up and brought down from behind. Did he get out across the sticks? He might have, yes. Needed 7 to move him, and I think he got 8. With 3:28 to go on the far side, he did get pushed out of bounds, though, so that helps Hoxie in that favor, but it does move the sticks. Pickup of 8 for Josiah Pattengall to make it first down and 10, and Oberlin would love to score the football here as well, and then force Hoxie really into a hurry-up, and this is going to be interesting. 3:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Oberlin with the football from the Hoxie 26-yard line. 18-12, clinging to a 6-point lead. Gearing out of the shotgun here. 3:28 left. Pattengall on his left hip takes the snap, hands it off. Josiah got big running room up the middle, and he's wrapped up and brought down by the linebacker core of the Indians just across the 25, inside the 25, at about the 26-yard line. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 7 after another pickup of 3 for Josiah, who just went to 30 carries unofficially on the night for 152. That's 30 Sam carries anyway. We'll see if that sticks going into next week. 2:59 and left to go in the fourth quarter. Out of the shotgun, Brady Gearing. He's got Caden Sowers directly behind him. Man on his hip to the left is Pattengall. Watching the time tick off the clock. 2:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Takes a snap. Hands it off Caden left side. Now trying to make something out of nothing. He does! He squeaks through a short hole. Gets out inside the 20 to about the 19, 18-yard line. Caden Sowers again comes up huge right there with a big run of 4 yards to force 3rd and 3. As Oberlin continues to drive now to the Hoxie 19-yard line with 2:23 to go in the fourth quarter. A defensive battle it has been, and Hoxie, who has stopped the run so well, has not been able to yet on this final drive when they need to. 2:13 and counting to go in the fourth quarter of play. Oberlin with the football from the Hoxie 19, 3rd and 3. Gehring out of the shotgun. Pattengall on his right hip. 2 receivers to the near side. Brady takes the snap. Barely gets the handoff to Josiah. Cuts back. He's at the 15. Still on his feet to the 10. Inside the 10. Almost to the 5. Josiah Pattengall continues to dominate here on this drive. Taking it from the 19 inside the 10 all the way down to the 8. Pickup of 11 for Josiah. Man, what a drive for him. 1:46 to go in the fourth quarter. 18-12. As time continues to roll off the clock here. Hoxie has not called a timeout yet. Gehring out of the shotgun. Man on his hip to the left is Josiah Pattengall. 2 receivers to the far side. Brady going to take the play clock as down as he can. Hands it off to Josiah. Breaks off the right side. Gets to the 5, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Hoxie will just allow him to score from 8 yards out. Josiah Pattengall, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, and extends the Oberlin lead back out to 12 with 1:20 left to go. So big touchdown run there from Josiah. It's a 12-point game again, and Hoxie will have to go on a short and quick drive down the field and try to come up with a score and then get an onside kick and then score again, all in under 90 seconds. Gehring out of the shotgun. He's got Josiah on his left hip, 2 receivers to the far side, going for the 2-point conversion. Gehring takes a snap. He fumbled the snap, and able to pick it up right at the line of scrimmage is Hoxie, so the 2-point conversion will be no good. But Oberlin is in the driver's seat for the win by a long shot, 24-12. Oberlin leads with 1:20 to go in the fourth quarter. This is Red Devil football.
Ever wonder why some people have a spring in their step? It's simple. Fuel. Quality fuel from Decatur Co-op. Without the right fuel, your day can feel like a drag. But with Decatur Co-op's premium Fieldmaster diesel or unleaded fuel delivered straight to you, those days of sluggish starts are over. Serving Northwest Kansas and Southwest Nebraska, they keep you moving. Check out their bulk fuel delivery today. Premium fuel and service you deserve at Decatur Co-op, with a location near you.
The Red Devils play here on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
So Oberlin in the driver's seat to pick up their first win over Hoxie in nearly a decade as they lead 24-12 here in the fourth quarter. And pick up a big, maybe game-sealing touchdown there from Josiah Pattengall from 8 yards out. I thought Hoxie had 2 timeouts. Maybe they were down to none, as Lance Barr did not call a single timeout on that drive, and Oberlin ate up a lot of clock there, as in 80 seconds, Hoxie is going to have to score 2 touchdowns to at least tie the game. Gage Willoughby sends an end-over-end boot that will die just inside the 9. Now it's going to roll all the way back into the end zone, and Hoxie will have it first down and 10 from the 15. And so maybe I'm wrong that on the scoreboard here at Hoxie, they don't have the timeouts up there, but I swore they only took 1 kind of right at the beginning of the half. But maybe they did take a couple more. It's just interesting. And maybe Coach Barr just saving it here with short time, as his team's got 80 seconds to score 12 points, down 24-12. The Oberlin defense, which just came up so big in this second half, has only allowed 1 touchdown, and it was on the last drive on a Noah Nicholson 2-yard touchdown run that was set up by a big run from him earlier in the drive. Meyer goes out of the shotgun, 2 receivers split to the near side. Now he sends a man in motion on the backfield, takes a snap. Meyer pump fakes, looking to throw over the middle, has a man wide open. It's Matt Bretz, caught across just in front of the 25. Now he takes it out across the 25 there to about the 26-yard line. So pickup of 11 there for Matt Bretz. And looks like we got a timeout on the field taken by Oberlin here with 1:11 to go here in the fourth quarter of play. So they'll say a pickup of 12 there for Chase Meyer to Matt Bretz. Bretz was not the intended target, but he was wide open over the middle of the field. 1:11 to go in the fourth quarter of play. 24-12, Oberlin in front. Hoxie trying to go down the field and score here, and then they'd have to get an onside kick and score again. Josiah Pattengall with his third rushing touchdown of the game put it at a 12-point advantage for the Red Devils. That's the largest lead of the night. Oberlin has not led above that. It has been a defensive battle. That is for sure. The third quarter saw no points between either team. And Oberlin in this fourth quarter has put up 12 points to Hoxie's 6. 24-12, 1:11 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Oberlin trying to start the year 2-0 in district play, which would be so huge to kind of be at the top of the standings and have to wait till later tonight to see where everybody else did. Meyer goes out of the shotgun, sends a man in motion left to right across the line. Now he takes a snap, pump fake, still looking to throw, throws it out, pass caught, right at the line of scrimmage by Bretz, racing up the far side of the field and gets out of bounds just across the 35 to about the 38-yard line there. Pickup of 11, and a timeout is on the field called by Hoxie. So, yeah, that's what Coach Barr was doing. I didn't think I was crazy, but so it goes for 11 yards there to Matt Bretz on the pickup as Lance Barr saves his timeouts for this final drive. Hoxie now down to just 1. Oberlin has 2. 24-12, 60 seconds left in the contest, and the Oberlin defense has got to come up with a stop here. They've got a cushion, but you'd love to just stop Hoxie and get off the field and take a couple knees to get away with a win. 24-12, Oberlin in front here in quarter number 4. Won by 10 last week over St. Francis, and now in front by 12 here over the Hoxie Indians. Hoxie, after an 0-2 start, won back-to-back games, but they find themselves down 12 here. Meyer will go out of the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to the near side, nobody on the far side of the field working towards the right hash. Meyer takes the snap, dropping back to pass, looking to throw. He's in trouble, avoids the snag, still on his feet. Now finds a man on the near side who was rocked and thrown out of bounds. There it was Noah Nicholson with the pickup at about the 38-yard line. So from the 38 of Hoxie to the 38, so a pickup of 4 there for Hoxie. Meyer running up to the line quick, drops back, looking to throw out of the flat, pass caught right in front of the 30, still on his feet. Out of the far side there is Nicholson. Oberlin had somebody go down on that far side of the field that was trying to come after him. That was Nicholson again with the catch as he takes it inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line here or so, as Meyer quickly goes up to the line, actually from about the 24. Looking to throw, has a man, it's caught by Bretz at the 20, still on his feet, diving, trying to get his way out of bounds. He's not going to be able to. And with 16.1 seconds to go, Lance Barr calls his final timeout, as a lot of time went off the clock there on those 2 passing plays. As Hoxie now we'll have the football inside the 20 there at about the 18-yard line or so. So, yeah, from the 18. That was a 14-yard gainer to Noah Nicholson on the far side, and then Matt Bretz picks up 5 there for Hoxie. Chase Meyer has now completed 6 in a row in 7 of his last 8. But with 16.1 seconds to go, Oberlin Red Devil faithful, and I think the Red Devil defense can start to feel it here, but you're really wanting to keep them off the scoreboard. because you never know what can happen. 16.1 seconds to go. Meyer out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Takes a snap. Meyer dropping back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket, and he's wrapped up and brought down by Christian Smith-Titus, and that will seal it. The Red Devils, for the first time in almost a decade, Meyer going to try to go under center, get a last playoff, and he stops the clock with 0.6 seconds to go. But Christian Smith-Titus, flocking in from his DB spot, comes up with a sack, and the Red Devils are 0.6 seconds away from their first win in Hoxie, for their first win over Hoxie in almost 10 years. Christian Smith-Titus, they hadn't been able to get back to him all day, and they finally do there. Loss of 11 on the sack. Meyer here in Hoxie will have one last breath to maybe try to make the score closer, as Meyer will go out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side, one to the near, sends a man in motion right to left, takes the snap. Meyer dropping back, looking, throws it up over the middle. It's intercepted at the 10, returned near side by C.J. Harris, and that's the ball game. For the first time in almost a decade, the Oberlin Red Devils have defeated the Hoxie Indians and have started the year 2-0 in district play and 4-1 overall. What a win for the Red Devils tonight, 24-12 over the Hoxie Indians. My goodness, what a game. Christian Smith-Titus, it was sealed with a Josiah Patton-Gall touchdown a little bit earlier, but Christian really slams the door with his big sack, and the Red Devils win 24-12. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our post-game show. The Red Devils take down the Hoxie Indians 24-12.
Decatur County Beef in Oberlin, Kansas wants to do business with the local farmers. They need high moisture corn, silage, and hay now, and dry corn now through October. Decatur County Beef offers very competitive prices, always looking for good help. Give Decatur County Beef a call. You'll be glad you did. That's Decatur County Beef.
Checking or savings account, CDs, personal or farm loans, First State Bank of Hoxie can be your bank. They are large enough to serve you, but small enough to know you. And First State Bank of Hoxie is a proud supporter of the Hoxie Indians. Go fight win with First State Bank of Hoxie. Member FDIC.
Chronic pain is a common condition with many possible treatment options that may include joint injections, nerve blocks, physical therapy, or radiofrequency ablation, depending on a provider's recommendation. Decatur Health shares this information to support community health education and awareness. By working together with specialists and primary care providers, Decatur Health helps patients and families understand available approaches to chronic pain. Learn more about chronic pain options at decaturhealth.org.
Isn't it a great feeling of assurance when you have 100% insurance? This feeling can be yours on all your insurance. Whether it's business, rental, car, home, farm, health, or life insurance, the friendly folks at Hoxie State Insurance are your independent agents, so they can give you just the precise insurance at the lowest rate possible. Agent Shane, Clara Lou, Garrett, or Dustin will help you attain personal assurance with first-rate insurance. Hoxie State Insurance.
Farm Credit of Western Kansas is synonymous with giving back to the community and its members. Whether it's attending events such as wheat plot tours, serving on various boards and committees, volunteering at local county fairs, or delivering $5.5 million in cash patronage checks, Farm Credit of Western Kansas is community driven. Stop in at 1190 South Range in Colby or one of our convenient outpost offices. Farm Credit of Western Kansas, financing ag for generations.
At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they believe in the 4 R's. 1, the right kinds of fertilizer and chemical to apply. 2, the right time to apply fertilizer and chemicals. 3, the right amount of fertilizer and chemical to use. And 4, the right place to apply fertilizer and chemical. Stop by Nutrient Ag Solutions and sharpen up your 4 R's before planting season arrives. They will be glad to work the 4 R's into your farming program. That's Nutrient Ag Solutions, just west of Hoxie, where they sell fertilizer, buy, specialize, and service.
Red Devil Athletics on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
For the first time in 9 years here on KFNF, we can say it, the Red Devils take down the Hoxie Indians 24-12 tonight in a defensive battle, and the Red Devils defense is the one that comes up and slams the door shut as Christian Smith-Titus comes away with a huge sack down the stretch, even though Oberlin had sealed it a little bit earlier with a Josiah Pattengall touchdown. But for the first time since 2015, the Red Devils take down Hoxie 36-20. They take them down 24-12. Last time Oberlin won against Hoxie was 36-28. It's been since 2014 since they won here in Hoxie when they beat the Indians 46-14. So check both of those off the boxes, and the Red Devils are off to a 4-1 start. What a game for the Red Devils. They take down the Indians of Hoxie 24-12 tonight. Let's take you through our scoring summary. We'll start in the first quarter when Oberlin got things started with drive number 1 of the game on a Josiah Pattengall 5-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion run would be no good, and Oberlin would take a 6-0 lead. Then we'd have no scoring all the way up until the final minute of the first half when Chase Meyer would hit Noah Nicholson for a 17-yard TD pass. A 2-point conversion run would be no good, and we'd be knotted up at 6 apiece. But then Gage Willoughby would take it in for a 55-yard plus kick return for a touchdown just seconds later to swing the momentum back into Oberlin's favor, and as they led 12-6 going into halftime. There'd be no score through 3 quarters, no scoring in the third quarter, I should say, and making our way into the fourth, Oberlin would start the scoring with 9:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Josiah Pattengall would run it in from 16 yards out. The 2-point conversion run would be no good, and Oberlin would lead 18-6. Then Hoxie would go on a nice, long, quick drive all the way down the field that ended on a 4th-and-goal touchdown from Noah Nicholson from 2 yards out. The 2-point conversion would be no good, and Oberlin would lead 18-12. Before they would go on a long drive down the field with Hoxie having 2 timeouts, not wanting to call any, and Oberlin would strike with 1:20 to go on a Josiah Pattengall 8-yard TD run, and Oberlin would lead 24-12, and that would be your final score as Oberlin would stop Hoxie with an INT in the red zone and that Christian Smith-Titus sack that backed him up before that. So the Red Devils, for the first time since 2015, can say they are winners over the Hoxie Indians as they take down Hoxie tonight 24-12. What a hard-fought battle defensively and offensively between these teams. Like I mentioned, it was only a 12-6 game entering the fourth quarter before Oberlin put up 12 points to Hoxie's 6 in the quarter to walk away with a 24-12 win. All right, let's take you through your individual numbers. We'll start with Hoxie. Noah Nicholson tonight finishes with 8 carries for 73 yards. Matt Brett, 7 carries for 27 yards. Chase Meyer, 15 carries for 30 yards. And Griffin Czar with a 1 carry for -1 yard. Chase Meyer throwing the football tonight, 12 of 18 for 119 yards and 1 interception. Griffin Czar on the night, 5 receptions for him for 37 yards. Noah Nicholson, 2 receptions for 31 yards. And Matt Brett, 4 receptions for 47 yards. Oberlin, individually tonight, 32 carries for Josiah Pattengall for 171 yards and 3 scores. Brady Gehring, 4 carries for -6 yards. Caden Sauer, 7 carries for 40 yards. Brady throwing the football tonight, 5 of 9 for 32 yards. Gage Willoughby, 4 receptions for 31 yards. Caden Sauers, 1 reception for 6 yards. Team-wise, Hoxie 129 on the ground, 119 through the air for a total of 248. Oberlin 205 on the ground, 32 through the air for 237 in total. So Hoxie outgains Oberlin in the end, but it's the Red Devils coming away with the win, 24-12. We'll take another break and start wrapping things up here from Hoxie. The Red Devils get the win tonight over the Hoxie Indians, 24-12.
Banking Banking should be simple and convenient. With FNB Bank, it is. Whether online, by phone, or with a debit card, accessing your money has never been easier. Imagine managing your finances from the comfort of your home or on the go with just a few taps. FNB Bank in Oberlin, Kansas makes it all possible, ensuring you have control of your banking 24/7. Experience the convenience of modern banking with FNB Bank. Visit fnbbank.com today.
Wofter Pump and Well Incorporated of Hoxie is your state licensed Kansas Water Well Association member. They can help you with all your water needs. They service and drill stock wells, domestic wells, environmental wells, and irrigation wells. Let them handle all your water maintenance problems, from drilling to water pump installation. They will do it all. Give Wofter Pump and Well a call today, 785-675-3991, or stop in and visit them on Highway 24 in Hoxie.
Insurance, it seems like you can never have enough, and when it comes to peace of mind, it's good to have the right insurance in place. Fredrickson Insurance Agency in Oberlin can help you do just that. Fredrickson's can help with supplemental insurance for your home, farm, business, auto, and yes, even your crop. Fredrickson's will help you find the best plan from the best companies. Insurance, get the best from Fredrickson Insurance Agency, next to the Landmark in downtown Oberlin, 785-475-3883.
The Red Devils play here on today's best country, 101.1 KFNF.
So the Red Devils take down the defending state champs tonight of Hoxie 24-12 and pick up their first win over the Indians since 2015 when they won at home. First time on the road win versus Hoxie since 2014. So a lot of firsts here tonight for Blake Gehring and his squad, but the Red Devils pull through in a defensive battle with a big game-sealing touchdown from Josiah Pattengall. Christian Smith-Titus comes up huge down the stretch. C.J. Harris gets his second interception of the year right there at the end of the game, and just overall the defense for the Red Devils did a great job, taking some punches. Obviously Hoxie, not like they didn't drive down the field a lot throughout the game, but they're able to come up huge when it mattered. Oberlin did, and they get the win 24-12. That third quarter especially, when they left Hoxie with 3 punts, that's kind of really the difference in the game, because Hoxie in the fourth quarter got things going again, but Oberlin really forced them nowhere in that third quarter, and Oberlin was able to use that to their advantage, score as we made our way into the fourth quarter, and then get a big score right at the end of the game. So the Red Devils with the win improved to 3-1 and 2-0 overall in district play. So Oberlin will now look into next week, where they will be back at home to take on the Stockton Tigers. We'll have all the action starting with pregame at 6 o'clock, kickoff at 7. That'll be a big one. The Red Devils could be 5-1 with a win there next week, and 3-0 in district play in the driver's seat with 2 big games to end out the year with Rollins County and Hill City. But what a win tonight for Oberlin, now 4-1 and 2-0 in district play. Once again, back in action on the field next week at Smick Memorial Field, 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff between Oberlin and Stockton. Don't forget, tomorrow we will have all of the coverage of the Oberlin Volleyball Tournament right here on KFNF, following that Oberlin pool, not only on our KFNF YouTube channel, but right here on our KFNF airwaves as well. So buckle up for a lot of high school volleyball coming up tomorrow as well. So that'll do it for us here in Hoxie. Big thanks goes out to my camera person tonight, Bailey Brownwell, helping me out. So big thanks to her. And the Red Devils pull off something that hasn't happened in almost a decade. They take down none other than the Hoxie Indians, arch rival, by a final score of 24-12, and gain a lot of momentum heading into a tough stretch coming up here throughout the rest of the season. So that'll wrap things up here tonight from Hoxie. It's a Red Devil winner, 24-12. I'm Sam Knoll signing off, saying so long and good night.
The following has been a presentation of Oberlin Red Devil Athletics on 101.1 KFNF, today's best country. To listen back and watch tonight's game, visit our website and click on the Sports tab. Then, KFNF live video streams. For an upcoming broadcast schedule, visit our website, highplainsradio.net, and click on the Media tab. Then, Sports Broadcast Schedule.